You're listening to a Countout Podcast.
Become a part of the Horton team. We're looking for welders, painters, assemblers, machine operators, cabinet makers, and other positions to build emergency vehicles that help save lives. Join us at our hiring event on Wednesday, January 18th from 2 to 5 p.m. at 3800 McDowell Road in Grove City. We offer a huge $1,500 sign-on bonus and great benefits such as 401k match, medical coverage starting day one, and much more. For more information on what Horton can do for you, visit careers.revgroup.com and search Grove City.
Fact or myth? In the big game, the coin toss usually comes up heads. That is a myth. In fact, tails has come up more often in recent years. Football is full of myths. Like the pigskin isn't actually made of pigskin. Gambling is a share of myths too. Unfortunately, believing gambling myths can cost you a lot of money. So learn what's myth and what's fact at keepitfunohio.com. You'll also find helpful tips, interesting quizzes, and great games, all to help ensure gambling is always fun.
And welcome to Ring Post Radio. As you can tell, we're not live streaming this one because literally your boy has been spending hours moving from one apartment to the next, his first ever home. So I'm in a room. I don't have Wi-Fi. I'm using my phone as a hotspot. So it is what it is. I can explain all of that, but let me, if at first, of course, introduce the one and the only, the Bostonian himself, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how you doing?
Oh, it's been a long week just overall. Anyways, adding to that for you, is life itself, moving. That's why we take this 2 hours every week to try to leave the everyday life. Mm-hmm. But as I can see, you have a lot of the everyday life surrounding you as we speak.
Literally, so we spent, it was, packing up things throughout the week or whatever. But we spent Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. loading up a big old 16-footer with all of our furniture and whatever other stuff we have. Then getting to the house, unloading it all. Then going to our storage unit, which is however big, emptying that all out. Then going to the house, emptying all that stuff out. Actually, no, I take that back. We didn't empty it out because it was 9 p.m. at night and we were both super sore. I threw out my back emptying out the storage unit. I couldn't really walk. I legit threw my back like I'm 90 and I'm over here. I lifted one thing. I'm like, oh, I'm done. And then we just went back to the house, didn't unload things. And then instead of unloading things, we just went back to our apartment, got our cats, and came over. But then because we had to return the truck at 8:30 this morning, and the truck was still full of things, I woke up at 6 a.m. to begin the unload of the truck, and just so happened, by the way, there was a thunderstorm last night.
Oh my God.
Woke up and it was raining. So I've been up since Saturday was 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then I slept from 11ish or whatever till 4:30, and then I woke up to move more things, and I set up my desk, and I don't even have Wi-Fi, and I set up my desk, and now we're recording this.
Yep, because that is the dedication. Truth be told, everyone, we weren't actually going to do it this week, but
I texted
Ryan
you.
had a moment of holy shit, I got a hot spot, we're rolling.
I texted you, I was like, this isn't happening. I can't record at all. Because I was under the assumption that I have apparently what came with the house is an AT&T fiber box. And so I was under the assumption, great, I'll plug that in, no big deal. We got the router, modem, all that stuff, all that junk.
We'll cook.
Cooking on a fiber. We got 500 up, 500 down.
Yeah.
Just cooking on it.
That did not happen.
I plug it in, and they're like, "You got nothing." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I call a bunch of people, service things. I'm like the third or fourth person I talked to, told me straight up, "Okay, this is the situation. Based on what you're telling me and what I'm seeing, that it's set up, but for whatever reason, fiber itself is not going into this box. So either something is wrong with the box itself or the line from the pole outside to the house. So it's like, I'm over in the assumption. And by the way, I was about to do Xfinity. I didn't realize I had a fiber box, and I was about to do Xfinity. And then last second, I was like, okay, cool. We'll just get rid of Xfinity. I'll get the fiber, and then cool. And then come yesterday, I'm like, oh shit, I have actually nothing. So the guy can't come out till Saturday. So I'm here in this house all week long, no Wi-Fi. I just unpacking room after room after room of furniture. So suffice to say, I didn't really watch much this weekend.
We got a lot of hoops to jump through, ladies and gents. We have a lot to do today.
This is one of those rare episodes where Scotty is taking the full-on lead, and I
have taken the lead in most ways, which is very funny because that obviously when I take the lead on things, as people know who listen to my podcast, I don't write anything down. I don't have anything planned, so this could be dangerous. But I remember everything, so it's okay.
Well, I have it written. You wrote it down already and sent it to me, so we have that.
Well, I want to just give you an idea of, hey, this is what we're talking about, because usually we do that, days in advance, but seeing we didn't know we were recording until yesterday, that changed. Hopefully next week we can go and do our normal thing, but I'm not going to sit here and act like that's a guarantee.
Yeah, totally.
So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, all goes well with Wi-Fi for Ryan and we won't have to move it or
I mean, worst case scenario, the guy comes in Saturday and says we have to completely rewire and just do everything, and then that will take however long that will take. If that takes the rest of the day on Saturday, that's the rest of the day on Saturday or whatever. If it goes into Sunday, I might either do a hotspot record again, or it might just be like, fuck it, we're getting Xfinity and going back to that. But
we are supposed to have a guest next week. But,
forgot. Oh yeah. Fuck. I forgot.
So it's all on Ryan. Of course, next week's also Royal Rumble review, which is a big one. So Ryan couldn't have picked a better time
to move.
The only better time would have been if it's WrestleMania week.
Yeah,
that would have been the only better time.
Oh, by the way, Scotty, I got a big old vacation plan.
If you were going to WrestleMania, that'd be one thing. I'd be like, all right, well, go off, buddy. But we're gonna do our best here, and you know what? We'll be back next week. It's just a matter of I don't know how, I don't know what version of us, but we'll be there.
Yeah.
But this week.
I'll have better lighting next week.
Better lighting. Well, it's okay because we're not live streaming, so no one knew about your lighting except for me, and we could just let it go. But no,
I'm why am I so pink in this shot? I know. We're only commenting on the one time we don't have video. I'm only commenting on the video. But why am I so pink in my Zoom?
You are very pink. No, folks, he's very pink. He looks like cotton candy over here. It's an interesting situation. So am I leading this show?
Yeah, why not?
All right, sure. Why the hell not? All right. Well, we have to start off with the news and notes, which we don't really have notes. We only have one thing of news, and of course, it's the worst possible news you can imagine.
Yep.
The news that everyone has been dealing with for the past week plus. Which of course was the passing of Jay Briscoe. I think that night, of course, it was Wednesday that the news. No, Tuesday. Sorry,
yep.
It was Tuesday that the news came out. I personally wasn't anywhere near my phone for like hours.
Yeah.
And I, for some reason, like there was NXT on in the background at my house. I wasn't watching it, guys. I wasn't watching it. I promise.
Scotty's a big old NXT stan the entire time.
But Vic Joseph said we're sadly have to say that, like, Jay Briscoe
you found out through NXT through Vic Joseph.
Yeah. So like, you should have seen my face when I heard it. I got sick to my stomach.
Wow.
My heart dropped because I didn't have my phone anywhere near me for like 3 hours, and I hear it on NXT of all places. So I'm like, oh dear God. I just run to my phone, and then I see everything, and it's just a lot of people are comparing it to Brody Lee, in the feeling of just like the announcement
punch.
and be like, yeah, because it's like no one, and obviously they're very different situations. Brody was sick. This is an accident, but either way, it's just it was so tough. It's one of the toughest celebrity / wrestlers, famous people deaths I've ever experienced, just on a personal level. And I know you're right there with me, so I'll let you talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying about the Brody Lee. They're both very tragic cases, and I think what's sad about it is that Brody Lee, it was a long-standing sickness that was just kept very quiet, where this was a literal shock to the entire wrestling community, not just community, but like wrestlers themselves, because they're funny on the moment. I found out on Twitter. I think I literally was like I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw Tony Khan tweet it basically as he tweeted it. And it was just like heartbreaking. I literally, we were watching television. I paused it. And I don't even know if I paused it. I think I just like exclaimed like, "Oh my God, holy shit!" And just just freaking out, like not like solemnly freaking out, which is a weird thing to say. And Jesse was just like, "What's happening?" I was like, "Jay Briscoe died," and she, of course, had no idea who I was talking about because only I watch wrestling. But I told her, I was like, "We've seen him. We were at Best in the World which was in hindsight, now that I think about it, probably the last Young Bucks Briscoes match." That Best in the World show, which was right before AEW. So that we in hindsight, probably, I'm thinking about that now. Yeah, that was probably their last Young Bucks Briscoes match. It's so tragic. It's so because it's not just tragic in the sense that Brody Lee is incredibly sad, but this is a different element, it's a different level of that, because it's not just Jay Briscoe. It is his two daughters, who are fortunately did not pass away, but unfortunately walked away with severe injuries.
Better,
which I don't know if you saw that good news. I think last night, the daughter that did not have feeling in the legs fully got feelings in her legs.
All the extremities she feel.
Road to recovery has started. Fantastic. But then you also have the other driver, this 20-year-old woman. It's not just one person. It is, a 20-year-old woman and her family and her friends, Jay Briscoe, the wrestling community, their immediate family, their community. He was I believe he was assistant football coach. His wife was a teacher. His parents were teachers, superintendents, or something like that. The whole community has to now suffer from this. I mean, his brother, Mark Briscoe, next day was his birthday, and
also mine,
also yours. So, I didn't
know I had a birthday with Mark Briscoe until then.
Yeah, what a way to find out.
I got extra sad. I was like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, no, this it's just tragic. The whole experience is just tragic. It is because it's a similar way to Brody Lee, who was just like, I mean, Brody Lee also is like, he was a really good wrestler and he was having like this breakout year moment going into AEW. But Jay Briscoe, it's like, you hear all the reports and everything, how great of a guy this was, how redemptive of a journey he's been on for the past several years since 2013. How excellent of a wrestler he has been consistently. I mean, I'll say this now because it's going to be my match of the week. It was a Jay. I basically I was going to watch a bunch of stuff at work, heard the news on Tuesday, and have basically been watching Briscoe matches every day at work since when I had the moment. And this was going to be a match of the week. It was a, let me see if I can get the exact year, because I don't know if the exact year off the top of my head. But it was a Jay Briscoe Amazing Red match. And I believe this match was pre-Ring of Honor, pre-first episode of Ring of Honor. It is like 10 minutes long. It is incredibly good. Incredibly good. This match, let's see. No, I'm not going there. I'm just going to go here. This match was it was like 2013 or something like that. And the two of them, 2002. I gave this match 3.5 stars. Now, granted, this is, of course, Amazing Red, but this is Jay Briscoe. He's been wrestling at this point for, I don't know, a year or two, a couple years. And he...
what? 2018 at the time?
Yeah, he was 18. I tweeted that. He was 18 at the time. And was probably wrestling for like 1 or 2 years professionally.
Right.
This guy looked like a pro. Looked so solid in the ring. And he's been like that for 2 decades. Unbelievable. And you're not just talking like greatness. You're talking greatness in longevity, right? Mm-hmm. You're talking having that kind of career, 20-year-long career, and being that great from beginning to end. It is phenomenal. It is unbelievable to have, anyone like that. And it's so frustrating when it's like, you have those discussions about, are the Briscoes the greatest tag team of all time or whatever. And it's like, you can't be the greatest tag team of all time. They only got to they only stayed in Ring of Honor. They didn't go anywhere else. They were, if not the greatest modern tag team of all time. You have to say it. Young Bucks are the only people you can really argue on. And what beats the Young Bucks? The Briscoes have been doing it for way longer than the Young Bucks. So it is, I mean, to me, it's like they're both phenomenal wrestlers, and it's so tragic. And the other aspect of tragedy is the element himself of Jay Briscoe is a guy that was very close to going to WWE years ago, and because of his tweets, which we all know what they are, because of his tweets, didn't go. Didn't end up going. AEW, same thing. They've been Young Bucks. There are reports that AEW Young Bucks were trying to bring him in day one. Then, the event. Maybe at the time they got denied from Warner Media. Who's to know? Who's to say? Maybe it was just contracts of Ring of Honor. Who's to know? And then when Ring of Honor gets sold, the Briscoes are out there. You bring in the Briscoes. Oh, we're trying to get them to an AEW contract. Oh, no. Because presumably, not even presumably, the reports are saying that it's because of those comments. And it's like it's just the tragic nature of it is, I feel like the 2022 was such a weird breakout year for the Briscoes, because it wasn't a breakout year for them in terms of talent. It was a breakout year in terms of eyes on them as a tag team. You know how many stories have come out from Jay's passing that have been, I never have seen them guys before. I saw the FTR matches, thought they were great, started watching their stuff. I now love them. You know how many stories like that happened? And it's because they are now branching off to a bigger audience, and this was a breakout year for them. And who knows what was gonna happen for 2023 with them, and if they were able to get past the Warner Media hurdle, while Warner Media wants to fucking put Dana White on television immediately and have
so happy that bombed.
Yeah, then you have that. You got J.K. Rowling, having her Harry Potter reunion, which I know it's
you
less
have
extent, but she's still
people
getting
who
money from that.
aren't willing to admit their faults and go out and get better. They get to go on TV, they get to do all these things. Then you have Jay Briscoe, who has went out of his way to improve improve off those comments and show that he's changed. And he couldn't go on Warner Media, and they couldn't do a tribute show on TV for him. And I think it's a shame.
It's a real shame.
I'll let you keep going though before I jump in.
It's an incredible shame because it's something where comparing to like the rest of Warner Media is just like, you got Dana White, you got the Harry Potter reunion, which is less involved, but she's still making money off of that. You got Ezra Miller and the Flash still happening. You got all this stuff still happening. You got in the wrestling world, Vince McMahon coming back immediately to power. Like the guy is like one of the sadly rare cases where they say a comment and anytime it comes up, they immediately like talk about it. They donate money. They've been working on it. Their story after story after story of him being like, he's been actively working on it, and he's a completely different man. The guy, for lack of a better term, manned up. He grew up. He got better. That is something that should be admirable. That story, you would think, is something you would almost want to promote.
Yeah.
But instead, it is no. We can't talk about this guy. You can mention it once, but you can't. You can't do a tribute show or anything like that. And it was really upsetting because I'm really excited to see this Ring of Honor tribute show. By the way, I assume you are as well.
There's two.
There's two? Oh, great, perfect.
So Tony said they'll do the one that they already have taped, and then he said there'll be another one, which I think will just be Supercard of Honor.
That would make sense because then you can do a pay-per-view when it doesn't really matter. Well,
and it's live. You want that to be live.
I was gonna say it doesn't really matter, but they're also gonna do Bleacher Report, which isn't Bleacher Report owned by Warner Media?
Yeah, but if they're wrestling on there all the time, it doesn't matter. Like
Good point.
They were wrestling on those shows anyways. So
good point. Either way, it is something where that element of all of it is super tragic. This whole situation is incredibly sad, and it's just a guy that is. It's not that he underperformed in terms of wrestling skill. In some ways, he's overperformed. It's just that society, wrestling industry, all this stuff just never allowed him to break out. And to a certain extent, of course, you got to put the blame on his old self, right? But once you get past that, once you get better, shouldn't that be admirable? Shouldn't that be something we should all want to aspire to? I'm sure every one of us have said something stupid, a decade ago, but that we all want to take back the moment we texted it a decade ago, probably.
Right.
But this is a guy that's been like working on himself, and it's just so frustrating to see all this stuff happen and see who is getting a pass. And we all know what the thing is. They're getting a pass because they are bona fide. They can make money. Well, we realize right now that Dana White can't right now, which is great news to me because that really proves the point to Warner Media. And you could also argue that the Briscoes would have made Warner Media money. We saw how much those buys did for Ring of Honor and how much it was really the selling point for FDR and the Briscoes. You can make the argument to Warner Media that put them on your television, they will become stars. The Briscoes will become stars. And he will make you money. And so that is what it is, I guess. But, this is a long ramble for a great guy, but it's just so sad. I was doing my Voice of Wrestling match of the year stuff. And my match of the year is the FTR Briscoes Supercard of Honor match, the first one. I love that one. That one just blew me away. And what I wrote and ironically, I was late in terms of submitting my vote. But when I wrote in there was just like, in another universe, I am hooting, hollering, raving about how great this match is, how much I loved it. But in the universe we're in now, it's pretty much you can only talk about Jay. It is the effort, the work, the amount of times that he puts over other talent. This guy can be great with anybody. It's just this is a phenomenal talent. It's such a shame because he was really on the cusp of getting on huge eyes, and obviously he was a huge sadness to Mark Briscoe and what now he has to do, because it's not just his brother, it's now a huge aspect of his career. Does he even want to still do this? I don't know. It's just the whole thing is incredibly sad, and it's so sad to see Jay Briscoe pass away. But here's hoping that for better things for that family, because that is hugely tragic.
I lived in a time where I remember that there's the conversation of how Sting was the greatest wrestler to never step foot in WWE. I've lived in a time where that could be said about a bunch of people nowadays, right? Especially from Japan. And I think a lot of people don't include them because it's a little different. Like people from Japan, not everyone's coming over here to wrestle because they have their own promotions and whatnot.
But for the best American wrestler.
Yeah, I think we officially could say that Jay Briscoe is the greatest to never wrestle on a major television show here in America. I think I could say that confidently, and I can move forward with that, because what Jay Briscoe did was, not only was he part of one of, if not the greatest tag teams of all time, but he was a great singles wrestler. He was obviously a great human being. There's a reason you see every person that's ever touched Ring of Honor respecting this guy. It's not even like it was just his friends. Like, you saw everyone that ever stepped foot in Ring of Honor respecting this guy because he was Ring of Honor. Him and Mark were Ring of Honor. They were there from the beginning, and they were there till now, right? And as someone that has seen them multiple times, it didn't matter who was there and wasn't. I've been to Ring of Honor shows when the Elite were running the show. I've been to Ring of Honor shows when Matt Taven's world champion. But the one consistency is that no matter what, them boys were always the top act. They were always getting the best reactions, whether they were heel or babyface. And trust me, I've been there for both as well. They just got it, and they always put their 110% in it. And going through this week, I think it's undeniable Jay Briscoe is the greatest champion in Ring of Honor history. He's a 2-time Ring of Honor World Champion, 13-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion. He's held the GHC Junior Heavyweight titles, IWGP Tag Team titles, House of Glory, Impact. You get the picture. Not GHC, GCW. Mark.
Also GHC.
Yes, GHC.
You can't be mistaken. They are also GHC Junior Heavyweight Champions.
GHC, GCW, Impact, Ring of Honor, IWGP. You get the point. They did everything without ever having to go to a WWE or AEW, because that's how great they were. Yeah. And you bring up the FTR Briscoe match, and a lot of people did, understandably so. I don't know if there will ever be a greater run for a tag team than what the Briscoes did in their last 4 pay-per-views. Because we're not even just talking about FTR and the Briscoes. We'll go back to that final pay-per-view under Sinclair, which was the Briscoes versus the OGK, which me and Ryan have been on this show multiple times and saying the praises of that beautiful match. That match is better than the second FTR Briscoes match for my money.
Yeah.
Not the other two, but that's not their fault. It's just the other two are all-timers in a lot of ways. But you get the point. They always showed up no matter the size of the building, no matter how many fans were or weren't there, no matter who was there in Ring of Honor and who wasn't there in Ring of Honor, they were always there. They were always a staple. And I don't know what Mark Briscoe does next. I hope for the best for him. I hope he can still wrestle, because obviously it would be a shame if there were no Briscoes wrestling, but I understand why he wouldn't as well. You lost your brother, you lost you lost the guy that you've been going out there with for 20 plus years and just putting on incredible matches. You were talking about matches you watched. I watched the first time ever the Briscoes versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, of course, as Kevin Steen and El Generico in the Ladder War.
I was about to say I watched the Ladder War this week as well.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
I watched what I think is the best Briscoe versus Briscoe match ever, 2007. They were in England, and it was just an impromptu match because they had dropped the GHC heavyweight titles like in their first defense. And the whole story was, we need to man up, we need to toughen each other up. So they go out there and they beat the piss out of each other for 25 minutes, and then it's a draw because that's what they did. They were two brothers and they went out there and kicked each other's asses, and it ended with the 10 count.
And they've done that style so much. There's the one where they're like in New Jersey or something, just as a kids, and they just do that. Like the England when you're talking about the fight on the farm, like that's the whole concept of what that is. It's just two guys that need to get their dad's like, y'all, you need to duke it out, and then they just do that for however many minutes.
And for all his great in-ring stuff, he was just as good on the microphone. Something that is not as appreciated in the world of Ring of Honor, anyways, right? Because when you look at Ring of Honor, you think of the in-ring, you think of all the classics that Ring of Honor's had, but this guy has so many promos from his backyard and from some like random farm, and he just has all these promos where he just cuts them from the heart, and you feel how true they are. And people were pointing out how Mark Briscoe would just have these incredible one-liners in all of them, and it's like, man, these are the reasons we have to appreciate the wrestlers we have with us when they're here, right? That's why you and me do shows like this, is because we don't want to just appreciate them when they're gone so they can't see it. But Jay Briscoe, he, to me, he's top all-time Ring of Honor guy. He's, those Briscoes should be on the Mount Rushmore of Ring of Honor. That's why they're in the first Hall of Fame. They are the Hall of Fame. Like, without them, Ring of Honor isn't trucking to where it is. And it's just a shame that we'll never get to see them get on AEW, because I think a lot of us held out hope that one day, someday, it would happen, right?
Yeah.
There's something, obviously this isn't how you want it to ever happen, but there's something right about him being Ring of Honor tag team champion when he's passing. Like, obviously you never want that to happen. That was never the idea, but the fact that he's holding that belt, right, is just right, because that is their belts. And I saw some people say they should retire those tag belts. I agree. Those are their tag belts. I've been saying we need new belts anyway.
You've been saying this since they happened.
Well, because when the tag belts look better than the world title belt, it's like, all right, well, anyways. But
now the problem is now you can never use that design. It's
no. I think
hang that design in the rafters.
There is going to be so many tributes to this guy. And they're not just stopping after this week with the armbands. We know we're getting the tribute show that they already air, and it's not even, the beauty of that tribute show is it's just guys and girls going out there and wrestling.
Yeah,
that's the epitome of what Jay Briscoe was.
Yeah.
He went out there and wrestled. It doesn't need to be the biggest names in Ring of Honor history on that show. It's just people going out there and wrestling. You're going to get a Ring of Honor world title match between Claudio and Christopher Daniels. If that doesn't scream just the perfect, like, yeah, this is what Jay Briscoe, like, this is the type of match that fits that, I don't know what does. That night, of course, the Young Bucks and wrestling against brothers, right? With Top Flight, I was like, well, that's perfect. And then, of course, Danielson and Bandito, two former Ring of Honor world champions. It's weird how that works out.
Yeah.
But Supercard of Honor is going to be a very emotional show. And the Briscoes, debatably their greatest rivals in Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're going to be winning tag team titles at WrestleMania.
Well, there's a chance Sami Zayn wins some sort of world title at this rate.
Well, I know that's what people are hoping for.
Sorry, Cody.
But either way, like, I think them winning the tag titles and them, those two are going to pay tribute to, the Briscoes any way they can. I think those two's comments hit some of the hardest for me this week, was them talking about it. And I think everyone reading all the comments, but you get the point. It's that the fact that we have to talk about this and that he's gone, and just take the wrestling side out of it, and that a family has lost their father, their husband, their brother. Like, that is the devastating part of all this. And we're praying for that family, and thankfully there's been some good news out of that over the past couple days. And we just gotta hopefully there's a way to support them. Hopefully there's ways to send money to them, like when there's a GoFundMe, but obviously hopefully there's I know people like the tribute type, like gear and stuff, like all proceeds go to the family, like things like that too. Just any way to support them. It's going to be a tough couple months moving forward, because once Ring of Honor gets going, I think it's just going to be felt at all times that, because again, there's never been a Ring of Honor without Jay Briscoe, right? And that's going to be part of it. But rest in peace. I knew this was going to take up a decent amount of the episode, as it should.
It's important
because
it
is important. I mean, if you want to look at the wrestling side only, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time. If you want to just look at the overall feel of it, it's just a great man that's passed away far too early in a accident. So it sucks. But the tributes that have been paid this week, like New Japan and Noah did a great one too. I want to give them credit. They did it before Wrestle Kingdom. They even played the song after, Reed Boy, and they played that after they did the 10 belt salute. So that was very touching. You have Hiroshi Tanahashi and Naomichi Marufuji. I didn't say his name right at all, but you get my point. Just standing in the ring with pictures of Jay, and it's just like, this guy's impact touched the world, not just here in the US. He touched everyone without hitting WWE. That's how impactful he was. That's how impactful the Briscoes were without going to the very top, and I think that's important to remember.
Just wanted to say that as well. The physical actual donation page for the family, for the Briscoe family, I should say the Pugh family, is good. It is givesendgo.com/PughLove, P-U-G-H love. That is givesendgo.com/PughLove. Their goal was to raise $200,000, and boy howdy, they raised $281,000.
It's wonderful to hear.
Yes.
So far, I'm sure it will.
Oh yeah.
Sure, it's nowhere close to done, but
yes, I don't know how Tyson Smith donated. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't think Give Send Go is like a website that like ends at any point. I think you can just donate whenever. I'm guessing. I have no idea. Because I know you're not funding anything of GoFundMe. You just are sending money. But yeah, givesendgo.com/Pugh family. Very important. We got that update that the daughter is better. Both daughters are feeling better. But I'm sure that entire family, massive family, especially Mark's family, just massive family, Just really need our prayers, really need our donations, and all-time wrestler, and he wasn't. For whatever reason, there weren't talks about getting him added to the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. And I'm sure it's because no Ring of Honor guy ever got into the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. But boy howdy, you gotta not give them a nomination. And if they're not going to get in, then no one's getting in. I know they're going to be in the same. I know they're going to be in the same list as the Young Bucks, and that's gonna be a slam dunk nomination for people, but they deserve it. They deserve it as well, honestly.
Yep. Well, all right. We'll try to spark up the convo now. I knew that was gonna be our opening, and now we'll talk everything else, and we'll start with Wrestle Kingdom 17 in Yokohama Arena. New Japan versus Noah.
Yeah, baby.
I think we could all agree this was a lot better than last year's.
I watched 3 matches, and it was already way better. I think
after the first match you were done. You were like, all right, this is already better. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, I watched 3 matches. I'll take you through this match since I know you watched all of it, or at least more than me, Scotty.
I watched most of the show. I mean, some of it's forgettable, but
I think that I don't recall even going 4 stars on any of my matches last year, and I went 4 on 2 of the 3 I saw. I think. Well, actually, I don't think I even rated the Naito one. I think I saw it, immediately went online. So
Naito.
I gotta think about that one. That one was good, but I kind of like the Shingo one a little bit more.
I like the Shingo one more.
Just great show. just already a really great show. I'm excited to see the rest of it.
Who knew that it was just a show to play to the most anticipated match of the year all of a sudden?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I'll walk you through the show since you watch more than me, and I'll give my tidbits when we do. Want to start at the top? I'm sure these were all skippables. We'll get them through real quick.
If you think I watched the Young Lions match, you're nuts.
All right, moving on. Daiki Inaba, and Masaki Miya defeated Oscar Lube and Tomohiro Ishii. Did you watch this one?
Unknown caller.
Oh, I'm getting a phone call apparently. I did not realize it's still connected.
Oh dear.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna answer that one. Sorry about that.
Have you ever thought to yourself how good would Masaki Miya and Tomohiro Ishii hitting each other as hard as possible would be?
I said that in our preview last week.
Yeah, so it was really good.
Fuck yeah, I can't wait to watch
They
it.
beat the crap out of each other. And it feels like there will be a singles match somewhere down the line. I think there has to be. Hopefully Masaki Miya doesn't follow the life and times of Tomohiro Ishii in terms of never getting to the top level of success, but there's a lot of similarities. I think Kitamiya is so good. But this was really entertaining. Probably one of the better pre-show matches on a New Japan show you'll see. Also Oscar Lube, or however you say his name.
Sure, Oscar.
He's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, this is not the one that was at the crossover show, right?
That was Bolton Oleg.
Yes, that guy is getting pushed to the moon. Oscar, he's looking pretty, lean, mean.
Oleg was there.
Machine. Of course he is. He's always there.
Oleg was in Naito's corner during the main event.
What a weird sort of spot I'll put him in. 8-man tag team match: Hiroshi Tanahashi, Satoshi Kojima, Takashi Sugiura, and Toru Yano. I wonder who took. No, I guess he was on the winning side. Defeated El Phantasmo, Gedo, Kenta, and Naomichi Marufuji.
This is a lot of fun. I mean, you got legends in there. You got Tanahashi, Sugiura, Kojima, Kenta, and Marufuji, and then you get the rest. But
you telling me Gedo is not a legend?
He's a legend, not as a wrestler. I'll give him that. But I think this was really, really entertaining. Nothing you need to go out and see, but I mean, it's just a bunch of cool guys being good. I thought Tanahashi and Kenta had like a really good exchange too, because Kenta was in a Noah atmosphere, so he tried more.
Ooh, yeah,
anytime the Noah arc is showing, he's like, shit, I gotta turn back the clock. I can't beat Bullet Club.
Even though he's on the Bullet Club team in this match.
Yep.
Singles match, El Desperado defeated Yohei.
This was really good. I actually really enjoyed this match, which isn't shocking because it's Despy. But
it's shocking
because
it's Yohei.
Yeah, I think Yohei can be talented. He just doesn't choose to.
He's also in a terrible division with the Noah Junior.
Yeah,
division.
yeah. So seeing him against like one of the best juniors, if not the best in the world today, it worked out. I enjoyed this match. It was one of my favorite matches on the show.
That's good to hear. I mean, it has 7.07 on Cage Match, so I'm excited to see what that is. 6-man tag team match. Alejandro.
I didn't watch this.
Oh, perfect.
I saw Tiger Mask. Was like, nope. All right, moving on.
How dare you say that to the former All Japan junior heavyweight champion? Okay, let's strap in, folks. Let's get serious for a second. We're talking fun, nice little matches over here. Let's talk fuck your matches. Screw your matches. Give me some
as Ryan said, that was one of the best matches in quotes. Is one of his favorites of the year.
Yeah, fuck these matches. Talk to me about angles. Give me them angles. Give me them hot 6-minute, 35-second angles. Kaito Kiyomiya, Yoshiki Inamura versus Okada and Makabe. No contest, because you want to know why? Because Kaito Kiyomiya and Kazuchika Okada beat the ever-loving piss out of one another. And it was a phenomenal outing. I don't give a shit. I gave it 4 stars. Not really a match. Not more of an angle. But it was hot.
Would have been 5 if the match kept going.
It was hot. The angle, the match, quote unquote, had great storytelling. Starting off, the ending of last year's, show with, I don't even know if it was the end of last year's show, but it was the great. Then the tag match with Okada and Kiyomiya on either side, and Kiyomiya walking away crying. Here he is, like a year later, and like, no, I'm back in it. And Okada's like, oh no, you're still a kid. And he's like, oh, Kiyomiya, let's go Kiyomiya's like, let's go one-on-one. And Okada's like, I'm good. And just walked out. And then as soon as he gets to the ring, Kiyomiya jumps the rope and jumps the guy. And then they just beat the piss out of each other for the next 4 minutes. Great
As
stuff.
I like to say, Kiyomiya's got that dog in him now, baby. He had no dog in him last year. He was still a puny little fanboy for Kazuchika Okada. He stepped in the ring yesterday, and he chose violence. He said, "You're not going to respect me? I'm beating the shit out of you." He kicks him right across the head. And I remember when I was watching, I watched it unspoiled purposely because I didn't want to know anything just on the show. I didn't know this was gonna happen. And I was like, oh shit, he hit him, he actually hit him. And then I see Okada run out of the ring to beat the shit living ever Christ out of this poor guy, and I was like, oh shit. Have you ever seen Kevin Hart when he starts yell, he does a little thing he does. But anyways, it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
there couldn't have been more heat, more excitement for a match. I haven't seen this excitement for a Puro match, just based off one thing.
Yes,
I don't know, ever.
I was gonna say at least in years. Maybe back in Omega stuff. That's the earliest I can think of.
But just from one little angle, it made it the most highly anticipated match of the year. A year where Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega happened.
I can't wait. And of course, the match got announced. It's on the
we'll get to that. That.
But the match got announced.
Rundown, folks.
I'm super excited, super hyped.
Because we got the greatest booker of all time booking. That's why.
Yeah, baby. I'm so excited for this. This is ironically the hottest Kaito Kiyomiya has looked in Noah in his entire run so far. This man is on a super hot angle with the top guy of another company. It's sort of old school Invasion-esque Inoki era, angle. Everyone, was it Chris Charlton that immediately brought up when he saw that kick, brought up Akira Maeda with the UWF and New Japan rivalry that happened.
My dog.
It was like, oh, hot damn, I'm into this. I cannot wait for this match. Immediately, as long as Kiyomiya can live up to the Okada stuff, and I think Okada can bring Kiyomiya up into that spot. Boy, this is going to be a great match.
I don't think it will be possible for them not to if this is how Okada's going to wrestle. Okada is never like this.
No, that's what makes it great.
Jay White has pushed his buttons to no end before.
Yeah.
And he's never like this. It took Kaito Kiyomiya saying, I'm going to kick you right across the fucking skull, and we'll see what happens. And look at it.
In the most Noah fashion. Let me just kick you in the skull.
He took those Fujita matches to heart.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, this is what I got to do. Okay.
Yeah.
But absolutely just tremendous. Up and down. Fantastic stuff. You couldn't ask for a better scenario here.
Yeah. Like,
this is the match. You are having the IWGP heavyweight champion, world heavyweight, sorry. We added the world in. Presumably, assuming he can get through Shingo Takagi and then the match in Battle in the Valley, which is 3 or 4 days before this one, by the way. Assuming he can do all that, you have the IWGP World Champion against the GHC Heavyweight Champion. Assuming Kaito Kiyomiya beats Jack Morris, which it would be wild to have Jack Morris win that match and then send this guy into Okada. Imagine that. That'd be hysterical.
We'll talk about that.
Anyways, you get my point.
Yeah.
This is gigantic. It's humongous. They couldn't have done the angle better. Okada selling it backstage by screaming. It's perfect. It's perfect.
And you also got to talk about another reason why this, tore up the internet like wildfire. Because motherfuckers tweeted it. They had the GIF, they had the video, and they tweeted it. And they tweeted it, and they tweeted it, and they tweeted it. I didn't see a single DMCA strike. Not a single one. And you know what caused this?
It wasn't a BEMA.
It wasn't a BEMA. It's probably because it was on a pay-per-view that allowed them to do this super hot angle that got everyone super excited for this match all of a sudden. It is this. This is what I'm talking about, baby. This is what you need. This is what we're talking about, Abima. This is what we're talking about.
Noah couldn't be more happier.
No.
This was the biggest of wins for them in every single way possible. Not only did they have all eyes on the show, not only did they get actually wins on this show, but that people know who their ace is now that didn't know who Kaito Kiyomiya was before. And obviously,
when you think of Kaito Kiyomiya, you're going to think of, wasn't he that guy that kicked Okada in the skull?
Yeah, wasn't he the guy that pissed off Okada?
Yeah,
for was the first person to ever piss off Okada to that point, and I think that's great.
Yeah, and it's all about all about how you capitalize on this. It's all about you do that card. And
I love that. After the New Japan show today, they asked Okada about it, and Okada's like, "I'm not going. I wasn't told. I'm not doing it." He's like, New Japan officials didn't tell me I have to do it. It was just some guy booking it. And I was like, that is fantastic. This guy is selling it perfectly. I was like, I'm going to need a Kaito Kiyomiya run-in after the match against Shingo. And he just beats Okada's ass. Okada's like, all right, I'm going.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Is that how they actually, what Okada actually said?
Yeah. He said, New Japan didn't book this. I'm not doing it.
That's hilarious because Chris Charlton on the American feed, he said during the Naito main event, the Naito Kano main event, Chris Charlton was like, he's doing a kayfabe storyline shit. I'm getting word that Kiyomiya wants the match, and Okada's words were, yes, I want it. It doesn't matter where. I want the match. Someone book it. Complete 180 from what Okada is saying.
So Chris Charlton, he actually ended up translating it, he said, "I won't do it. Kiyomiya February 21st. I heard nothing from New Japan, but I dare say high ups just went ahead and made the match. I see no appeal in it all coming together just so like that. I'm not doing it." He also continued, "Company just threw that together and announced it. It isn't a New Japan event. I don't need to fight in Noah, and I won't. So you won't be going to the Tokyo Dome." And then he ends with a smile. I mean, should I? Oh, it's so good.
Fucking
It's
shit eating.
good. I thought Noah was actually off to a hot start this year. Like after their abysmal 2022, I thought the New Year show was a good start.
Yeah.
This show was good. Noah, you guys can't fuck. I mean, I know you can, but you can't.
We all know you
Like-
can fuck this up, but you shouldn't.
I am aware that you are capable of screwing this up,
Yeah.
but you should not.
Yeah.
Kaito Kiyomiya is right where you've always wanted him to be. Don't mess it up.
Yeah. There's a. Yeah. I mean,
Boy, howdy moment of the year.
I mean, there's. I mean, can I quickly just talk about the politics of? Or are we going to preview the actual Keiji Muto match? Because we're not previewing it until February. Because I mentioned that until February. Can we talk about that real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so the match got announced, obviously, and it's world champion versus world champion. And assuming it doesn't end in another no contest, assuming it doesn't run a DQ, which would be super upsetting.
It's going to be a draw.
Do you have someone lose the title before the match happens? Politically speaking, right? Are you gonna be Noah and be like, yeah, our world champion can lose to Okada?
To Jack Morris and then face Okada?
Yeah. Or do you have Okada lose to like Shingo or whoever he's facing at Battle in the Valley? And then, you know,
You're gonna have like, by the way, that's all within a week. I don't know if you like,
Yes.
It's like within 10 days.
I would love, and this is what I would want. This is what I want because I'm
Jack Morris, GHC heavyweight champion.
Obviously.
Book it, baby.
No, I think legitimately I don't think this is ever going to happen. I don't think this is going to happen, but my personal opinion of what would be ideal for me and what needs to be done is Okada has to lose the title against somebody. The strength of schedule, the surprise or whatever, I don't know. He has got to lose the title, and he has to take the fall to Kiyomiya in the Tokyo Dome.
There's no way.
No fucking way. But it would immediately make Kiyomiya as a star. It would immediately do that.
Absolutely. But there's a better
There's
chance
no fucking way that would
Okada squashes the guy in 5 minutes than him losing to Kiyomiya.
That is, I would say, 100% accurate. I would say that's 100%.
No, I think
in which case,
for
but then in that case, it would behoove Noah to not have him be the GHC heavyweight champion, which then means Jack Morris as GHC heavyweight champion, baby.
My king, my God, yes, need it. Overall, I just think like based off this show and based off where they're going, Noah and New Japan are just gonna stay clicked all year long.
They got it. I could also see a reality where this is a no contest, and it gets set up for another match down the line because
they can do that.
You gotta make this the 6 month and this at Dominion. You know, just do that. I think that would honestly be a good idea. Or if you
it doesn't matter. People are going to fill that. People are going to fill the dome, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. But you could do this at like Dominion. You can do this at the Tokyo Dome. I mean, I guess the problem is there. Dominion would be sort of a step down to the Tokyo.
Yeah, this is the dome, man.
Yeah, and I don't know how much this sold out, or I don't think this even sold out.
It's going to get very close.
Yeah.
It's probably going to sell more than Wrestle Kingdom.
This match announcement is going to sell a lot more tickets and make Keiji Muto a lot more money.
Keiji Muto, smartest booker alive. I do think that like Noah will have someone in the G1 now, though.
There was I think there was literally after the end of the main event, Kevin Kelly turns to Chris Charlton and says, let's talk about this. If this was a G1 Climax match and Naito gets 2 points, people might be upset about that ending and almost would want Kanoa to win this one. And I just put the thought in my head because, Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton do this all the time of like, why are they talking about the G1 Climax, in this way? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something.
It wouldn't be the first time this happens, so it's definitely possible. I'm intrigued. Let's just say we're all intrigued. We're happier with this, but we'll move forward here. We're going to talk a little bit about the card in a little bit, the full card top to bottom. We're not going to preview it. We're just going to be like, holy shit, this is the card of the year.
Yeah, this is, I'm
because it is the card of the year, folks.
Yeah, eat your heart out. Eat your heart out, Tony Khan. Eat your
my
heart
king,
out.
My fucking king.
We had the first of the best of 5 series match of Kongo versus LIJ. It was Tadasuke defeated Bushi. I saw someone say it was an upset. Did you feel like this was an upset?
I thought it was better than I expected, but everyone needs to understand. I had the lowest of low expectations because I wasn't even going to watch it to begin with. But I watched all the Kongo matches. It was fine. It was whatever. Did I think it was an upset? I mean, I don't know. Bushi doesn't win, so why is it an upset?
That's fair. It's Bushi after all. It's Bushi after all.
It's Bushi.
I mean, I've heard rumors of maybe Bushi
him leaving, right?
Yeah. So if that's the case, but also he'd be him leaving to Noah. So that's what I heard.
Great.
Yeah. But now in hindsight, you almost have to take all of those rumors. I think that report came with a similar report that was like, yeah, New Japan and Noah have like actual heat. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
So much.
Yeah, I was like, I'm starting to think this is all
continuously making money with each other now.
Hiromu Takahashi defeated Hajime Ohara. What did you think?
I know a lot of people like this match. I can't stand Ohara. I can't stand anything about him. He's a bad person, so I don't get really clicked into his matches.
He's your Joe Hendry?
No, he's an actual bad person, so I don't like him.
Perfect.
Like he has multiple allegations and stuff against him. So
then I'm sorry for making that comparison.
Yeah, no, Joe Hendry's just bad at wrestling.
My apologies.
Ohara's like people like this match, so cool. Hiromu won. I know, shocked, stunned, bamboozled.
Manabu Soye defeated Sonata. That's kind of a surprise.
Yeah, well, they wanted to keep it even series wise,
and you
didn't want LIJ to win the entire series before the big 2 matches.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. I mean, Sonata, so you can only handle so much Sonata.
Who had a better dye job in terms of their hair, Sonata or Manabu
Soya? Soya was on point. He couldn't have been more red if he tried.
Come on my Zoom call and you'll find out. Semi-main event, Shingo Takagi defeated Katsuhiko Nakajima. 18 minutes, 28 seconds. I did see this match along with the main event. I thought this match was great. I thought it was the exact sort of hard-hitting action that you and I were hoping for with Shingo and Nakajima. Nakajima looked like a badass, just constantly kicking Shingo, and Shingo was able to...
This is the Nakajima that, I love, not the watered down, push the back Nakajima that they like to do once in a while. Like this is why he's my favorite guy in Noah. He also isn't a nerd like Kano, so that's also why he's my favorite. But
yes, Nakajima.
And Shingo's Shingo.
Well, Kano is the fist king, and Nakajima famously is the foot king.
The knockout king.
Some would say. Some would argue. Yeah, I thought this match was great. I thought, like you said, I think it was the perfect hard hitting action that I was expecting, and I got it. It didn't. It exactly met my expectations. Nakajima basically was the dominator. I liked how, and I don't know how often it was with the other Kongo matches, or really any of the other Noah matches, but Nakajima and then eventually Kano playing heel in their matches, I thought was great. I think Kongo can suit that role very well, and I think Nakajima and Kano did that role very well. Nakajima just looked like an utter badass that was just taking to the Shingo, and Shingo was the underdog, weirdly enough.
Yeah. It felt like Shingo just survived.
Yeah. which is great. Which is exactly what you want to do. Which is exactly how you want to set that up.
Yeah, I mean, we know they like having Nakajima lose, so it's not like I was worried about them having him lose. But easily the match of the night in terms of just in-ring stuff. Just fantastic.
Was it the angle of the night?
No.
Of course not. Nothing can beat Kiyomiya Okada. Congo, LIJ.
I thought we were talking post-match for Naito Kano. All right, whatever. That was the angle of the night for me.
We'll talk about that because the main event was Tetsuya Naito defeated Kano in the main event. Before we get to the post-match angle.
Stunned, bamboozled.
The Naito one. Yeah, I talked up an argument of why Naito could lose last week, and I honestly did not think it would happen. But it was an argument that I was like, this is the only argument I can think of. But I thought this match was pretty good. Pretty good. Naito. It was long. It was typically at my sweet spot, but it was just Naito just wasn't really like completely there. Kano was not completely there. Kano did some good stuff, but I don't think the two of them necessarily clicked fully into one another. Maybe it's not me. I mean, the match was still really, really good. It just wasn't, great. Which is,
it wasn't. I think it wasn't to the like. It definitely wasn't to like the match of the year contender standards that people had set, like the hope.
Yeah,
with these two going at it.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I even had that. I was still looking at the Shingo one that was like, yeah, that could be match of the year, maybe.
Yeah, like with I don't know with Kano, I have this weird disconnect with Kano where I like see him. I'm like, this is the nerdiest motherfucker.
He looks weird. He has a box head. He has a weird.
He like his weird seriousness is like kind of embarrasses me. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm like, all right, chill out. Which is why I like this feud because it's like, all right, you see what Naito is. He's actually cool. Yeah. Like he just does everything cool. You are the complete opposite, which is why it worked. It was a good match. It was definitely a good match. It just, I think two things stole the show, and it wasn't this match, which not their fault.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think they were sort of dealt a weird hand, and they did the best that they could. Nothing against them. I thought it was great stuff. Just didn't fully get there for me, and it didn't fully get me there, which is totally fine. Totally fine.
Yeah, it was a very good match. Could have been a lot better, but I don't care. It's like, oh no, we didn't have the match of the year. God forbid. We had a great show instead.
Yes.
Oh well.
And the post match, someone comes out.
The king. King.
Someone say the Booker of the Year.
It's the Booker of the Year. So Tetsuya Naito's like, all right, see you guys. After looking at Muto's like, shit, I forgot. Oh shit! Okay. He gets in the ring and he lays.
Naito gave him the old Muto of, we have to do the thing in the ring. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, lays down the challenge. Muto, Naito, final match ever for Keiji Muto until he comes back.
The final end of the 5-match series.
The Pro Wrestling Love, the Pro Wrestling Last Love.
Pro Wrestling Last Love, the 5-match retirement tour.
I ever tell you about the time when I interviewed them? They're like, it's not 5 matches. So I was like, what?
I swear someone said 5 matches.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. I was like, I swear. All right. But this brings us to the
5
ultimate.
singles? Is that what it was?
It might have been 5 singles. Well, he didn't say that, but I think that's what it ended up being. Even though I don't think he had that many singles. Anyways, the only shame is he didn't win the GHC before he retired.
Yeah.
Again, I should say. But this is what I want to go through. I want to go through the card here because this is the forbidden door of Japan coming together in so many different ways. It's very exciting. The only major company that's not on here is Stardom. Which I expected because I expected TJPW Cyber Fight to kind of get their hands in if there was going to be a women's match because there wasn't on this one. There wasn't on the Great Muda show, which we'll talk about next week. We're not talking about that today, which will just probably be one match. Truthfully, we'll probably talk about one match, if anything. But my point is that they didn't get their hands in on the Muta retirement show. So the Muto one always felt inevitable, which they did. But let's go through it. So DDT has their own like little showcase match. It'll be Shunma, Katsumata, Mao, Tui, Kojima, and Yuki Ueno versus Tetsuya Endo, Hideki Okatani, Yuya Kuroku, and Takeshi Masada. Takeshi Masada, for those who don't know, is like Konosuke Takeshi's like handpicked next guy, kinda. He's gonna be very good. So DDT gets their own big match. Of course, Cyber fights all over this, because they are the ones presenting it.
Yeah.
You have Nisao Rangai's final match.
Yeah.
As he teams with Masada against Gato and Taiji Ishimori.
Yeah.
So there you go. You got New Japan versus Noah again. I'm sure everyone was asking for that. This will be the opening match. It's called Starting Love. So this is when you think of these four, you could think of Starting Love.
These four men will be starting love tonight in Noah in Tokyo.
Masaki Tamiya, Daiki Naba versus Yoshiki Inamura and Yasutaka Yano. So
sure,
there's a Noah match. Your women's match of the evening will be an all TJPW match, as you have Rika Tatsumi, Yuka Sakazaki, Shoko Nakajima, and Miyu Yamashita facing Mizuki, Miyu Watanabe, Yuki Arai, and Maki Ito.
Do you think Noah is like trying, like, less so Noah, but more so maybe Cyber Fight is sort of doing the New Japan is Stardom is sort of being the New Japan's women's division. We should sort of do that with Tokyo Joshi.
I think so. Even after the women's match on the Muda show, Jungle Kiona said, "Hey, why isn't there a JHC women's title yet?" So I could see it starting up. They did have
good luck doing it with a bunch of all those old school guys in that booking that show.
So yesterday was technically the first ever women's match in Noah, because the one that they did at the Nasawa show didn't count because that was a produce show. And I was like, oh, all right, sure. I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I think they're going that way, which is good, because I think a lot of the Puro promotions now are trying to get at least one women's match on their thing. It won't change overnight, but it's good to see. Next match, you got Takashi Sugiura, Satoshi Kojima, and Timothy Thatcher against the good-looking guys. Jake Lee, Jack Morris, and Anthony Green. That's literally the faction name. Do not attack me.
This match called, of course, the subtitle, World Warrior Battle.
Yes. For some reason, Muto felt the need to name every match.
I love it. Makes it even better.
We have a junior battle here, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It's called the New Explosion. You got Ada, Yoshinara, Ogawa, Hayata. Oh dear God, he's back. Daga, of course. So recently divorced Daga,
fresh out of Mexico. Daga.
Chris Ridgway versus Atsushi Kotoge, Yohei, Saiki Yoshioka, Alejandro, and Junta Miyawaki. So jumping for joy, I could tell.
Can't wait to see more Daga.
You got Dragon Gate versus Noah, Shun Skywalker, Kai, and Diamante, who's injured, so that might have to change.
Unless this is the return match.
Yes, of course. Against Niyamichi Marufuji, Hijo Dr. Wagner Jr., and Ninja Mac. That was kind of beast. I'm not gonna lie, that match is beast.
Yeah, that's. I'm definitely checking that out.
Speaking of beast, you have All Japan versus Noah, which is confusing because I have learned overnight that two people hate each other in this match, legitimately hate each other, and they're going against each other. So it should be interesting. You have the All Japan team of Kento Miyahara, Suwama, and Yuma Aoyagi versus Kano, Katsuhiko Nakajima, and Manabu Soya. So you get the ace of All Japan here on the show with Kento. I'm very happy to see All Japan on the show, of course. With Keiji Muto working everywhere, before getting to work everywhere in his life.
Yeah.
He was able to include everyone. But I did learn that Kento Miyahara and Katsuhiko Nakajima despise each other legitimately. So I have no idea how they're going to make that work.
Well, it's pretty easy because isn't Kento Miyahara the champion right now?
Yeah.
Oh well, I know which side's winning.
That's not the easy part. We have Nakajima who legitimately knocks people out in the middle of the ring.
Good point. Good point. Unless you have the Noah office telling him knock one more person out, you're fired.
that might push him to do it then.
I know. Oh man.
All right, you got the Tokyo Tornado match, which is the junior champs. You got Hiromu Takahashi versus Amakusa. That's pretty beast. I think it's cool.
I'm excited for that.
And of course, you may have heard of it. You have Kazuchika Okada versus Kaito Kiyomiya in the Shining Through match. And in the main event, Keiji Muto versus Tetsuya Naito in the final match of Keiji Muto's career, allegedly.
Do you like how it's in quotation marks, pro wrestling, quote unquote, last love? Last is in quotes.
This dog ain't done, baby. He ain't going anywhere. But I'm gonna enjoy every moment of it. You know how you make more money? Having multiple retirement shows.
You know how you make more money? Subtitles in all your matches. TK, if you're listening,
That's
TK,
true. That's true.
You gotta put subtitles on your matches.
I can't wait for Keiji Muto / the Great Muta to come to the US and do his next run.
After the bye-bye show, he had to get wheeled out on a wheelchair. This guy can't move. And then Sting is like, yeah, this is probably my last one. And Muto in a wheelchair is like, no, you can keep doing more. And Sting's like, I don't know, man. Looking at Muto, a guy that he literally just wrestled with in a wheelchair. Be like, no.
Fact or myth? In the big game, the coin toss usually comes up heads. That is a myth. In fact, tails has come up more often in recent years. Football is full of myths, like the pigskin isn't actually made of pigskin. Gambling is a share of myths too. Unfortunately, believing gambling myths can cost you a lot of money. So learn what's myth and what's fact at keepitfunohio.com. You'll also find helpful tips, interesting quizzes, and great games, all to help ensure gambling is always fun.
New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DEFEND to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on anything. That's code DEFEND. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over and physically present in Ohio. Valid one offer per first-time depositors who have not already redeemed $200 in free bets via pre-launch offer. Minimum $5 deposit and wager. $200 issued as bonus bets. Eligibility restrictions apply. See dkng.co/OH for terms.
Oh, you got plenty of more time. And Muto's probably
Keiji Muto is just, he is an all-timer. Also a great booker. This show should be tons of fun. I didn't think, originally when it was scheduled, I was like, I don't know. I'll have to see the card to stay up for it.
Stayed up for it.
Oh, yeah. But let's move on from Japanese pro wrestling to go to the world of WWE, baby.
Yeah.
Just what everyone asked for.
Yeah.
But it is the most wonderful time of the year, at least for me in WWE, as it's time for the Royal... What?
I was going to say it's the most wonderful time of the year for one of us. And it could be the most awful time of the year for the other one. As per our yearly tradition for the Royal Rumble, we have a little competition between the two of us.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that when I get to the Royal Rumble matches. Let me do the rest of the preview.
All right. Is this what it's like when I'm trying to preview something and you keep cutting me off?
I always cut off. Don't you worry. But the reason I am not happy is because the punishment this year is cruelty. Possible. Ryan's gonna go to prison. Just say it. That's why I'm angry. Ryan can cut me off as much as he wants because I cut him off every minute of every day that he's going. But the reason,
we'll get to
it. Dangerous times out here, folks. But I didn't know that there were 5 matches on the show, and now that I look at them,
there are matches on the show.
There are.
Oh wait, I know what the 3 are, and then the other 2 are the Royal Rumble matches, right?
Well, we got that Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, baby. We got Bray Wyatt versus L.A. Knight. Yeah.
What a dumb stipulation. the dumbest stipulation in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match in collaboration with the new Pitch Black drink. Let's have a match for it. Why? Oh, why Mountain Dew? And also, what a time to sponsor the match as Vince McMahon is coming back in the company. Who knows? That man may show up on this show. And Mountain Dew is going to be like, yeah, it was a good idea to sponsor the show. Everyone loves the Royal Rumble. I think it was a great idea. Oh, who's that? Oh shit, it's Vince. Cut it. I'm gonna text my friend from Mountain Dew that works for Mountain Dew and be like, why are y'all sponsoring this wrestling match? Whose idea was this?
You might want to stop. So this match, of course, is Bray Wyatt's first match since coming back 8 months ago. Or however long ago he came back now. I couldn't be less interested. I do like LA Knight. LA Knight's going to lose. Well, unless Uncle Howdy ruins it. What am I talking about? Do you hear what I'm talking about? A Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. A man named Uncle Howdy might ruin the match. Bray Wyatt is wrestling for the first time since getting re-signed to this company, though it might not matter soon enough. What are we doing?
Now, here's the thing. I'll be honest. The match type is a good idea.
Because we don't have to watch Bray wrestle.
Exactly. Well, yes and no. We don't say have to watch Bray wrestle, but we also all understand that what is going to happen is their fireflies are going to come out, and that's going to light up the ring and all this stuff, right? So really, that's the gimmick. And honestly, that's a gimmick I'm surprised they've waited however many years of Bray Wyatt on doing. You would think they would have done that years ago. But no. And the other problem with it is you can't do the match again because it's a Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. You can't get that sponsorship back. This drink is limited time only. You can't get that drink back. What do you think you're doing? It's not even out yet, is it? Well, let me do some Googling. Let me do some my Mountain Dew Googles.
I don't want a zero sugar one. If I'm going to have it, I want to try the whole thing. Why is there Baja Blast hot sauce? What are we doing? That's dangerous.
Oh. Why is there Baja Blast? Why is there?
I don't even think it exists.
It does. Okay, so Mountain Dew Pitch Black. Well, no. Here's what I realized. Okay, so we got.
I'm gonna have to get one.
Mountain Dew Pitch Black. We gotta go to the wiki. We gotta go to the Mountain Dew wiki. Here we go.
I found it. I already found it.
Okay, Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
I'm on their website. Oh, nutrition info.
It
has a lot of sugar.
Yeah, it's on for a limited time. The Wikipedia says limited time. This isn't the first time it's in here. It came back. It's officially back, I guess. It is dark citrus punch is the flavor.
Why is it dark?
Because it's pitch black.
Okay.
That's what gives it its official pitch blackness.
Everyone's gonna have to get one next week when we review it. I'm gonna have to have one because it's important that we fit we play into our characters. Anyways. So who Ryan? Who's winning?
Well, I'm gonna do a quick plug and say Mikey and me years ago did a Patreon content. It's on the Patreon.
Oh, yeah, didn't you taste the birthday cake one?
Yes, we did a tasting test of 5 Mountain Dew flavors and 5 fast food items from various fast food restaurants and paired them together over the course of 2 hours. And then at the end of it had the birthday cake flavor. Because I think I had the birthday cake flavor on this on Ring.
Oh, you did something on here.
Yeah. Would you like some Mountain Dew Pitch Black trivia according to the wiki?
No.
All right.
We have so much to go through, Ryan.
The creature from the Black Lagoon, or Gilman, was somewhat of a mascot for Pitch Black. Well, your new mascot, Mountain Dew, is Uncle Howdy. Winner of this match is obviously going to be. I think the funny answer is LA
Not
Knight.
the fans.
I think the funny answer is LA Knight is going to win because Uncle Howdy is going to cause Bray Wyatt to lose, which is just funny because Bray Wyatt came back at Survivor Series, I want to say, which is November.
Before
SummerSlam?
Whatever was after it. Return.
when did this
Extreme Rules.
Oh, yeah. When was that? When was Extreme Rules?
October.
This man returned in October, and he's wrestling on a show January.
The very end of January.
And
so,
I think, but to that point, I think it would be funny for him to lose because the guy hasn't wrestled since he got fired originally, and it would be funny if he lost his first match back after 4 months of already being here. And I think
would you like to hear a funnier story that has nothing to do with this real quick before I forget about it?
Does it involve the Gilman?
It involves something we've talked about today.
Kechimuto.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Whoa. He's sponsored by Mountain Dew Pitch Black?
I wish. So my friend who doesn't follow, like, I've talked about him. I watch AEW with him, but he doesn't follow. He follows enough that he like knows what's going on in wrestling, but he doesn't like watch everything. And I told him I have to show him Sting's match from Japan. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, wait a minute, time out. I thought the Great Muta retired. I said, no, he retired here. He's like, does that mean Keiji Muto's retired? I was like, no. It's like Keiji Muto has his retirement match next month. He's like, what?
No, this problem. What he's not understanding is that Keiji Muto and Great Muta are two different wrestlers.
Well, that's the thing. I had to try to explain to him they're different people. They just happen to work together, and
they always work at around the same time, the same promotions. And they just so happen to have the same finisher and the same moveset, and they just so happen to be retiring around in the same year. So that's what it is.
But he was like, "Oh, all right." Anyways,
LA Knight's gonna win.
I pick LA Knight thanks to Uncle Howdy. Shout out to Uncle Howdy.
My lady.
Speaking of Uncle Howdy. Bianca Belair defends the Raw Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. So we might get a double dose of Uncle Howdy. Double dose of Bo Dallas. How does that make you feel?
A double Uncle Howdy match.
Royal Rumble is the ultimate, like, hey, you're here for 2 matches. I'm sorry, we have to put this in the middle. And I'm like, why? Why do you have to do this to me?
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, Bianca's going to win this one, no doubt.
I hope so.
I think Bianca wins because Alexa gets distracted by Uncle Howdy's hat. Because he's like, my lady, and then he distracts her. I think that's my assumption. And then my guess is they're going to do a move from, like, some sort of wrestling move sequence from, like, American Pie or something. Because they did the one earlier from... what was that comedy movie? Horror movie? What was it called? Scary Movie. They did a comedy sequence from Scary Movie as an actual legit move set in a match. So I think they'll do one from like American Pie. This one.
So this is what WWE wrote as a little subtitle thing. Yeah. At Royal Rumble, Alexa Bliss will challenge Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship with Uncle Howdy lurking in the shadows. This is what I get for saying I was excited for this show. You know that? It's because I'm excited for the Rumbles. I'm slightly excited for Kevin Owens. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna get pie in my face. The only thing that could save this show for me is, one person winning the Rumble, which I'll get to.
Uncle Howdy. Rule of threes dictate Uncle Howdy as doing the Royal Rumble.
Undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns defends his title against Kevin Owens. Of course, I guess the more newsworthy thing is that this Monday at Raw, they were going to be doing like a Samoan dynasty bloodline thingy, and now they're not.
Yeah.
Instead,
Got
Sami
changed.
Zayn's getting put on trial.
Yes. So it believes, unless they're doing a swerve, the belief is The Rock is not going to be at WrestleMania.
Whoa!
Was that Sami Zayn's theme song? Hold on, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not gonna sing the rest of the song.
I also think it's possible that it will probably still be Cody Rhodes. There also could be 2 matches. Who in the hell knows? I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Owens loses here, of course.
Kevin, I can guarantee you Kevin Owens is losing.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the match ends up being a triple threat. I think that is more interesting than Cody right now, and more interesting. Like, I think
nothing's more interesting than Cody, but that's fine.
Well, I think sadly, I could see a reality where they do the triple threat instead, and Cody gets very close to losing the Rumble, because that would play into his story of, I didn't quite get there. You know, I think that'll be part of it. So but we'll talk about that more when we get to the Rumble.
Well,
we're at the Rumble. Okay, let's talk about it.
We'll do the women's one first. So here are the competitors that are already announced. Please have a list. They do have a list, thank God. So, of course, 30 people are going to be in this Rumble, and they've announced 6 for the women's Rumble.
Oh, my list says
that's
7.
all they have.
My list says 7.
Well, I'm going off the official WWE.com list.
All right.
So I don't know what you want me to do there, Ryan.
Oh.
I'm going off the official list. I can't listen to your fake news one who has some fake person on it. This is the WWE list.
I'm very confident I know what the 7th person is, and I can't wait to say who it is.
That's even better. So the women that have announced their entry into the Royal Rumble match is Liv Morgan, the same woman who has said she wants to be number 1, because that makes sense. Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Shayna Baszler, and Zelina Vega.
What you're missing is, Scotty, is Emma, who announced yesterday on a show called the SmackDown Lowdown. I've never
was employed.
I watched so much wrestling. I have never.
Is that what Talking Smack used to be?
I have no idea. I've never heard of SmackDown Lowdown in my life.
It's a SmackDown Lowdown. It's a SmackDown Lowdown.
I have never heard of what the SmackDown Lowdown is. It's apparently a talk show. Who could have guessed it?
It is what Talking Smack was. I'm brilliant. I'm so smart.
Oh, that is upsetting. Why change it from Talking Smack to SmackDown Lowdown?
Maybe they wanted to respect Renee. I don't know. All right. So let's explain the game now that we're here. So of course, last year we did a superlatives game. So, we pick multiple categories. We try to guess everything, which is not easy, as Ryan can attest to since he lost. That was last year, of course. But so the sections we go are winner, first in, second in, longest in, so the Iron Man woman of the match, most eliminations, who comes in 30th, final 4, and then we have 2 numbers, which is like that's different from it, because we only pick one and then the other is randomized. That leads to a prize, which last year I think we said like something ridiculous. You know what? The prize will be a Mercedes Moné something. It's going to be something ridiculous. It's going to be something absolutely egregious. What's the ugliest piece of merchandise she had? In all seriousness, it'll just be like a gift card or something. But we're never going to get the number, so it doesn't matter.
To www.shop.com.
Right. We're never going to get the number right, because I don't think I've ever got a number right in my life.
Didn't you get the number right last year?
If I picked 30, maybe, because it was Brock.
Maybe. I don't remember. Go ahead. Keep going.
Anyways, you get the point. So we do all that, and then whoever has the least points, so everything you get right is 1 point, obviously. Whoever has the least points has to do a punishment. And my good friend Ryan over here did a live stream of the worst ranked matches on Cage Match. Was it top 5, the bottom 5 or whatever?
Bottom 5, yeah.
I just know you watched the match with like fake Ultimate Warrior or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
And
I
you
did.
live streamed it. You were in pain. You know, one person could have watched it. 3 people could have watched it.
We had a good audience.
people-
There was a lot of people joining me.
People enjoyed your pain.
Yeah.
So this year, Ryan said, "Oh, we need to think of something." And I said, "Okay, let me start thinking." I was going to say all of Ronda Rousey's matches. I was going to say something like that. But what he said, because he knows because he hates me,
because I know both of us would hate this, but our audience would love the fact that we're doing this.
You want me to lose so bad?
Yeah,
I'm going to lose my.
And to be clear, is this the loser to both or one or how?
Just one. The numbers doesn't matter. Oh yeah, overall.
Okay. Good
overall.
To know.
So points added up. So if you suck in one rumble and you bounce back in the other, that's okay.
Okay.
But
the stipulation is the loser.
The loser will have to do a live stream watch along of NWA's Nuff Said pay-per-view. I think the only fair thing is that whoever is the winner, they can pay for the bullshit that they're watching.
That's fair. That's fair.
And as anyone that's listened to this show knows how much I can't stand NWA. So when he said it, I said, well, that's perfect. Because it is a punishment, and that is a punishment. And then Ryan said, oh, let me look at the card. There isn't a card.
Okay, so I was like, okay, cool. I think it'd be a good idea for us to talk about the card and what was been announced so far. I was like, when even is this show? When even is NWA Enough Said? Turns out the show is in February. Fun fact. The show is February 11th out of Tampa. The tickets are on sale. You can buy now through Eventbrite. How much do you think these tickets are? Let's take a quick look. Ringside tickets. A general admission, $20. $20 tickets. No card has been announced, but the tickets are on sale. The only things that have been seemingly kind of announced are that there's a contract signing between Matt Cardona and Tyrus for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. But, you never know what Papa H has got up his sleeve. And then the end of the Championship Series Finals. I don't know.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. I cannot tell you. But let's get to it. Let's talk about the women's. Let's talk about the women's. It's this match. I cannot wait to see. I can't wait for you watching NWA Enough Said. I'm stoked.
Last year I won, so this year will be the year I lose. Because NWA.
I have to win this.
I've never had to win something more in my life, as I said to Ryan. But let's start with our superlatives. Who's gonna have to? We'll see who has to watch NWA. Enough Said. What a terrible name. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They named their pay-per-view Enough Said.
Yeah, and it's got a picture of Tyrus being super smug on it. Great. Let's talk about the show.
All right, so we're doing the women's one, obviously. So we will start with, who do you believe will be the first person in the women's Royal Rumble match? Do you think it'll just be Liv Morgan?
Yes,
they're just gonna do it.
100%.
Yeah, me too. All right. So I'm happy they made that easy for us. I'm gonna write all these down also, so we don't forget. So give me 1 second. Ryan, contribute great audio while I be an idiot.
NWA, Enough Said. Fox News correspondent Tyrus is going to be the obvious draw. I'm going to look up also. I mean, this is great content while Scotty is doing something else. But while he's also talking, I'm also going to be looking up if WrestleTix has the numbers. I mean, it's like Eventbrite, so I don't think Eventbrite has it because he's basing it off of Ticketmaster. I think. But I would love to know if WrestleTix has the the day of buys for NWA. Enough said. Can't freaking wait, man. It's gonna be stupid. But yeah, I think my first person's gonna be Liv Morgan. I think it makes sense. I don't know who would be anything else other than her. I think it would be super stupid of WWE to be like, yeah, it's not gonna be Liv Morgan. She comes out at number 2. It's just like the whole thing would just be a big old troll job. So we'll see how this goes. I can see Scotty is messaging a bunch of things, and he's almost done. So we'll get to it. But the other thing I have to think of is second person in. I'll talk about that. That's a good thing to talk about. Who will be the second person in? Honestly, it could be anyone. Honestly, I think there's a good chance, and I think it's
back.
Perfect. I think it's a good chance, and I think it's likely everyone, especially.
You can always say
year.
for surprise. You could say surprise, I guess.
Sure. But I also think there's a good chance that there's going to be a lot of NXT people in both of these rumbles,
Sure.
way more than usual.
Sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. So that being said, it could be an NXT person. Who would be a cool person to put up against Liv Morgan? Who is Liv Morgan feuding with? Who's to know? Who's to say?
Right.
So I'm gonna say number 2. Wait, Greg Miller. What is he doing on the roster page?
The hell's Greg Miller?
He's from IGN, I think. Yeah. What? What? Why? Game Over Greggy? He's a YouTuber video game guy for Kind of Funny. What the fuck is he on the roster page for? He works for WWE apparently.
How about that?
Oh, now is he like a satin kind of guy, or is he?
He must be like the bump people.
That's so upsetting to see Greg Miller co-opted.
Who is your pick?
I've been looking at the roster page, just trying to come up with somebody. Honestly, is she feuding with anybody?
Raquel, technically, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
I thought Raquel was a face.
I don't know, man.
I'll say Rhonda, so they can play the music fully. I guess I don't know. Rhonda. Let's say Rhonda. I don't know.
I'll say Rhonda so they can play the music. All right. For my number 2 entry, I will go with someone that's anticlimactic.
Shotzi.
Do Io Sky.
Oh.
I know she's not announced for it, but
so sad to say someone anticlimactic.
Trust me, it hurts me with every part of my beat. Okay. But it sounds like something that they would do. She'll probably be like, someone that's in there for a while. She's small. She has a title. Something. I don't know. Shut. Longest in the match.
Oh, it's gonna be Valhalla. No, longest in the match.
Will it be the first or second person?
It shouldn't be them. I think that would be stupid. I could see them doing.
He's pissed about this.
I'll say Raquel.
I'll
say Raquel Rodriguez. I was gonna say I could see them doing that with either her or Rhea.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Raquel.
Also, I will. I forget what I was saying, but that wasn't that important. I will go first for the women's one to make it a little more fair. Obviously, not that it really matters. So you say Raquel as the longest.
Yeah,
I will.
I think that's possible.
What's her name? Raquel what? What is it?
Rodriguez.
Raquel what? Oh, it's Rodriguez now. I always write the other one.
No,
Gonzalez.
Yes, Gonzalez. I don't know why they changed it. I think Gonzalez is her actual name. I think Reina Gonzalez is her actual name, maybe.
So is Naomi showing up?
No.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh boy. What is this longest? I'll just say I will say Rhea Ripley.
Fair enough. I think that's a good. If it's not Raquel, I think it could be Rhea.
So I was either between Raquel or Rhea, but like come on, this is for NW. Enough said. We're not gonna be lame here, folks. We're not gonna pick the same choices all around.
This is serious. This is a serious decision making.
I'll go first here for most eliminations. I think it will be probably Raquel,
and I think it's Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, figured. So there you go. The funny thing is with these, I've noticed is like they always have like ties. So
yeah,
I see them just have like 5 each and be like, all right, cool. And you and me just be like, I'm doing double thumbs up for anyone that didn't know. 30th.
I'll say Becky
Lynch, who of course hasn't officially been announced yet, but she'll be there.
Yeah.
Come on. I kind of forgot she existed. I'm not gonna lie to you. 30th. I'm gonna say. Who cares? Asuka hasn't been on TV for a while, right?
No, I think she is on TV. Hasn't she been feuding with the tag champs or something?
No. Do I go Bailey or I'll go Asuka? I'll say she's a little surprised because she's not on TV right now.
Yeah,
she's rebuilding herself or something. Final 4. I'm gonna go Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
Becky Lynch.
All right.
Asuka, because I think she's going to be in this. And who the fuck else do they have on their roster? Oh dear God! Oh dear God! Oh dear God! Oh dear God! This is like the most wide open women's rumble they've ever had. Huh?
I know.
There's
nothing here.
There's nothing. I'll just say Bailey. Watch
solid.
Half of these people not be in it.
That's solid. That's a solid pick.
It's like 4 people I wouldn't mind being Final 4.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I like them.
Solid. My Final 4 are going to be Rhea, Becky. Who was the other person? I had them in my head. I was just going to say them. It will probably be someone silly that is definitely not going to win, but the crowd be on their side. I'll say Candace. No, it should be a heel, not Candace. It should be
Dana
a heel.
Brooke.
No. Valhalla. No. I'll say Io Sky.
Io Sky, sure.
And I'll say Naomi. I'll do a shot in the dark. Naomi.
That's a good one. I could see that help you turn the tide here.
If she makes a surprise appearance, boy howdy am I in.
So all right, we're gonna do numbers. And the numbers are we get to pick one and the other one's random. I got a randomizer here. Ryan, I'll let you pick first.
26.
26. Why the hell not? Well, what's the difference? I don't know. 26.
Yeah, it's good. 26
that's
for the
me.
day I was born.
You're just born the 26th day.
Every month, the 26th day I was born.
26 and randomizing Ryan. Oh wait, I have to pick one first. I'm gonna pick 24.
Good number.
Thanks. And then I'll randomize yours. You got 7.
Oh, bad.
Not great unless they want a like dominant Rhea run.
Yeah,
right.
Is it possible? Right. That's possible.
Right. I'm gonna lose most eliminations if that's the case. I said 24, and then let's randomize 11. They gave me 7 also. I was like, well, that's not. We can't do the same number.
At least we got a great gas station. 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
we'll go out for Slurpees.
Yes. We're gonna suck. All right, Women's Rumble's done. Over. Well, no, it's not. We didn't pick our winners. I'm picking Rhea Ripley.
I was also going to pick Rhea Ripley.
All right. To be honest, as we preview this, I don't know anyone else that would even slightly make sense to win this Royal Rumble. So,
yeah, Bailey.
Last year I
it
learned
won't
that I
be
picked
Bailey.
Bayley.
Becky is a good idea, but because Becky's not a bad idea, especially if they're getting rid of the Ronda thing.
Would you like to pick Becky?
I'll pick Becky.
All right.
I'll pick Becky.
The shift. I forget if the winner ever had more like points, but I'm just gonna assume it done. Right? Like, was that like winner like 2 points?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
All right, I'm making an official ruling because no one remembers. Winner gets 2 if we pick the right winner. Congratulations.
Perfect.
All right, men's match. Sorry, everyone. I know we have come to a slow stop.
Yes. So men's match, the announced people so far, according to the wiki, are 15 of 30.
15. Okay. All right.
We have Kofi Kingston, Santos Escobar, Ricochet, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Rey Mysterio, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, Omos, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Karrion Kross. So that's half your field right there. And you got another 15 to pick from. I love Kofi Kingston being the number one person. He's the current NXT Tag Team Champion. Why not?
So for first in, I'm gonna say Sheamus. I feel like a guy they want to put in there and just beat up people.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. That could be good.
Did you actually mean Kofi, or
No.
were you just saying he's the first person that said he's in?
No. He was the first one announced, which I just think was fun.
Gotcha.
I'll close my roster page. Bye-bye.
Galaxy Brain thinking though says that Cody comes in at 1 and wins the whole thing.
Yeah, Galaxy Brain.
He comes in at number 0. He's already in the ring when they're announcing the match.
I think it will be. No, you get a little pop. I think you get a pop. I think he's gonna pull. I think honestly, I've been thinking this for a while. I think Cody is gonna pull a 1992 Royal Rumble and just do the entire Ric Flair thing.
Yeah,
except lose.
Ah.
That is what I'm thinking. So I think it'll just be 2 guys go in there and have a match, but it's got to be people that Cody can beat, but it has to start off with a good match. So first up, I will of course I'll say I don't know. Let's say what's going from this list.
You don't feel good about it.
You don't feel great about it. Let's say, oh god, there's a lot of heavy hitters.
Yeah, it's actually like I already said it's more loaded than last year's, which was awful.
Let's say Ricochet.
Obviously. Ricochet. All right, Ricochet. For second in, I'm gonna go with Gunther. I think they just let those 2 go out there and smash the shit out of each other to start this off.
That's a good idea.
Mostly because I really would prefer if they did.
Yeah. In a similar fashion, I'm going to go with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. So we have the same mindset. Let's start this. Let's let them cook to start off. That's brilliant. You're a smart cookie over there.
And then
longest.
We don't pick it, but number 3, I'm picking Cody. But
yeah, we don't pick 3, but I agree. Longest, are we going Cody?
I'm going Cody.
Yeah, I am too. All right. Cody Rhodes, baby.
The Cody Rhodes to the WrestleMania has begun. Is that something?
Most eliminations. I'm gonna go with. Wait.
I already got my pick.
Oh, Omos is in this?
Yeah, he is in this. I can see them doing a lot with Omos.
I'm going to go with... I'm going to actually say Bobby Lashley. I'll say Bobby gets it, but Omos helps it. So maybe that And then, like, I think maybe Braun takes out Omos or so on, because they're both big.
Yeah, Omos and Braun are going to have a face-to-face at some point.
Yeah, and everyone's going to be like, the crowd goes mild.
Yeah. I'm going to say Gunther as most eliminations.
Gunther. 30.
Number 30.
30 is a fun one. Sami Zayn.
Is that your pick?
No, I think that would make the crowd lose their freaking mind.
Because that's going to be my pick. I'm looking at a picture of Sami Zayn and be like, that would be a great.
That would be a good 30.
Pick. That would be a great pick.
I think Brock won from 30 last year, so I do.
Brock is the nebulous. He's everything revolves around him. It could be Brock. Who the hell knows?
Brock could always be here. That's the thing with Brock. He's never actually here, but he's always actually here.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to say Pat McAfee. I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna say.
I think there's a chance he's in it.
I'm gonna say Channing Stacks Lorenzo.
I was thinking about this. We don't do the surprise picks, but I do think Big E has a shot at being in this as a big, like, real surprise.
That would be a good surprise. That'd be like that would be good if Kofi Kingston was 1 and Big E was 2.
That'd be cool. Feel good moment. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
WWE feel good moment. Not gonna.
If that happens, I don't get anything. I don't get any praise.
No, but I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who, you're still thinking you're 30?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm just gonna start picking names. Ready?
I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre.
Okay, perfect.
What the heck? They just go boring. Have someone that people like.
Who is Hank Walker? Who the hell is this guy?
I was like, oh. I'm gonna do my final 4 are gonna be Cody Rhodes. Can't spell. I'm gonna mute myself if this is too loud. Seth Rollins. Okay.
Okay.
Fuck. Forgot freaking.
How dare you?
I write that in my my match guide. Freaking. I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre.
All right.
And I haven't been set on this last guy. I haven't had a clue who this last one could be. Last year I had Austin Theory in the final 4, and he was the final 2, actually, which devastated my heart when I looked back and thought of that. I was like, oh my god, they had him in the final 2. Sami Zayn's so tempting, but he also could just not be in the match. Right?
True.
So it's like
true. Very true.
Very true. Very Drew McIntyre.
That's why I'm gonna go with Drew McIntyre.
I want to go with the Great Muta, but
yeah,
I can't. I don't know.
Great Muta showing up would be insane.
I'm popping.
His last match, he has one more. He has a Rumble appearance.
I've been sold that that's gonna happen for a while now. I'll go. Yeah, I'll go Sami Zayn.
Okay.
Maybe he's in.
Now,
and then maybe by then the Bloodline's mad at him and they come on and screw him. They do the whole like CM Punk thing. Remember when CM Punk was in there and then CM Punk quit the day after because Kane pulled him out? It's not actually because Kane pulled him out of the Royal Rumble, but I like to say it is.
I think looking at this, I think that for me, the 4th person is sort of a wash. I think for me, the lock is Cody, freaking, and Sami Zayn. I think the finish of this Rumble, if we're going to go full Cody Rhodes, full 92 Ric Flair, it is going to be in sort of a reverse of that you're expecting Ric Flair to get it. But the finish of the 92 Royal Rumble was Sid Vicious, Hulk Hogan, and Ric Flair. Sid Vicious, I believe, eliminates Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan pulls Sid Vicious out from the rope, allowing Ric Flair to get the win. I think Cody eliminates Seth Rollins. Rollins pulls Cody out of the ring, and Sami Zayn is your overall winner. That is interesting. So that all being said, there are 3 of my 4, and the 4th person does not really matter, but I'm going to.
It does for you. This is a point, buckaroo.
It does for me, and I'm going to pick someone. It doesn't really matter, but I have a specific pick in mind. As soon as I remember their name, I will pick their. I do have it. Oh, there it is. Carmelo Hayes.
Oh.
I think it could be Carmelo Hayes. We get the reports of him training with Cody. I could see that. I'd rather see Carmelo in this spot than Joe Gacy. So I think Carmelo Hayes is a pick here. I think that's a good pick.
All right. Well, you have picked Sami Zayn as your Royal Rumble winner.
Yes.
I'm going with my man. I'm staying true. I'm staying true as a member of the Nightmare family. I'm going with the one, the only adrenaline in my soul. Holy fuck, it's Cody Rhodes. The whole shebang. Cody Rhodes. I've been on the Cody Rhodes win the Rumble train for far too long. So when The Rock comes in and ruins both of our choices, it's gonna be great.
Adrenaline in my soul. Holy shit, it's Great Muto.
So we're picking numbers. Yeah. I'm gonna pick number 3. I'm gonna be bold.
I gave a long explanation of why I think Sami Zayn's going to win this Rumble and how he's going to specifically do it. So I'm going to say 30 Sami Zayn.
So we're both trying to pick our exact guys. We're going to be terribly wrong. It's going to be great.
I mean, I would like some praise if Sami Zayn does win, but he wins from like 27 or whatever. I think
I'll give you some praise. I'll give you some praise for sure.
No points. I'm not going to get
you would have got the winner right though.
That's true.
You just don't get a prize because you didn't have the right number.
And I would have gotten the final 4 right, so I would have gotten something.
All right, so I'm generating.
This is your number.
It keeps giving me 3. 18. I don't like it.
I think it's better. It's a better sizable number, right in the middle. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Let's see what you get. So you can't get 30.
No.
I got 3, and I got. All right. You got. Nope. That's 18 again.
Generator sucks.
You got 4.
All right. So not Cody, but whoever's after Cody, it's gonna be like Joe Gacy.
It's gonna be who's the worst person on this list. It's going to be Baron Corbin. Oh, yeah. How do you calm down everyone when Cody comes out? You give them Baron.
Well, I think to go with the comparison, let's go look at the 92 Rumble. Number 1 was British Bulldog. Number 2 was Ted DiBiase. Number 3, Ric Flair. And, of course, who will be our 2023 comp to a number 4 pick? Jerry Sags.
I nailed it. Baron Corbin. So to go through, here are all of Ryan's picks with NWA viewing on the line. Becky Lynch as his winner. Liv Morgan at number 1. Ronda Rousey at number 2. Raquel Rodriguez as the longest in the match. Rhea Ripley with most eliminations. Becky Lynch is number 30. Final 4, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Io Sky, and Naomi. Numbers 26 and 7. My women's choices: Rhea Ripley as the winner, Liv Morgan as the first in, Io Sky as the second in, longest Rhea Ripley, most eliminations Raquel Rodriguez, 30th Asuka, final 4 Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Asuka, and Bayley, and then my numbers are 24 and 11. All right,
here we go.
Ryan's men's picks: the winner Sami Zayn, first in Ricochet, second in Rey Mysterio, longest Cody Rhodes, most eliminations Gunther, 30th Sami Zayn, final 4 Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins, Sami Zayn, Carmelo Hayes, and his numbers are 30 and 4. Mine are winner Cody Rhodes, first in Sheamus, second in Gunther, longest Cody Rhodes, most eliminations Bob Lashley, 30th Drew McIntyre, final 4 Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and Sami Zayn, and numbers 3 and 18. So, as you can tell, neither of us feel good about this. NWA viewing is on the line. If we tie, we
die.
We both have to watch it.
Oh, that could be a reality. You never know.
I think that has to be the rule. If we tie somehow, we have to both watch it on a watch along. Yeah. And we can both suffer pain. All right. So that's all the wrestling. We will do our brief because we pushed this off 3 different weeks. We will talk about it now so we can get
Yeah.
over with. So at the beginning of actually, you know what? This is the part you can lead, so I'm gonna let you do it.
So every year we don't really make this an official thing, but you and I basically just like go back and talk about we talk about like what promotions we're interested in. Like like indirectly have sort of referenced the idea of like, oh yeah, we brought in Noah into the fold. Really wanted. You and I both talked about how we wanted to get more into Noah, and then we did in 2022 and covered them a lot.
Our stock's working finally.
Perfect. So I think like just making this more of a formal conversation about like, promotions and how we feel about them coming out of 2022 and promotions we may be interested in going into in the new year. I think just having that being a more discussion I think is interesting. So let's get into it. So really the conversation of which promotions are we going to keep watching, which promotions are we going to be dropping.
If there's anything new, of course, which
Yes. So we'll start off. I have a list of pro wrestling promotions here, and I'll click through some stuff. I think there's some obvious ones. What are some obvious ones that we're gonna keep watching?
AEW,
easy peasy. WWE.
We got a Freakazoid on the podcast. Actually, so,
WWE.
WWE by default.
Yeah, we kind of have to. But how about this? NXT. I'm full okay not discussing takeovers on the show.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
That's ultimately discussion. Do we want to talk about takeovers on the show? Now should be said, if a show we happen to watch is fantastic or something happens on the show that's worth talking about, we'll talk about it. But we are not going to.
We don't need to force watching NXT.
Yes, we are not going to.
I agree to these standards. We do not have to force ourselves to watch NXT because they're really bad.
Yeah. Ring of Honor. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Impact.
Yeah, they stick around.
Congratulations,
Impact.
I think that last pay-per-view, Hard to Kill, just was like, yep, they're going that.
If anything, they're really going to take over NXT takeovers with their Impact specials. Like, we'll make sure to talk about those.
That's probably true. This is going to be, we're going to start heading into more like indie territory stuff. NWA, we sort of already dropped them, but we're not going to talk about them unless one of us will.
Nope. Get them out of here.
We dropped them long ago, but are we keeping them on the drop list? MLW?
Yeah, you can keep them on the drop list. They got TV this week.
So I've actually been watching the fusions because it was the Atlanta taping that I was thinking about going, and they've been all right. They've been fine. Not as bad as they once were, but
it's like the definition of MLW.
Yeah. But also what makes them better is that they brought in like Dragon Gate guys. So, they brought in like Shun Skywalker and Ben K, and like the latest fusion had Ben K on it. So it's like it's better. It's certainly
trying.
Better. Yeah. It's certainly better. So I'm watching it on my own time, but it's also MLW. So, but yeah, they got new television. They're bringing new television, so that's actually really cool for them. And maybe it'll blow up even more. We'll see, but we'll go from there. Other things that are there any indies that you're interested in talking about? GCW. We'll watch them, drop them. Ever since Hammerstein.
I guess with them, it's like it depends on the show. I mean, they just have so many shows that's like, I don't need to talk about them. But if they ever have a big show again, or like WrestleMania weekend will hit.
Yeah. I think that's a different beast.
We'll hit the collective, but we won't hit like. What was their show yesterday? I know it was funny. GCW Take a Picture 2023. We will not be hitting GCW Take a Picture 2023.
Yeah, what a shame. I think ever since Hammerstein, it's just been. They are not even on my radar, honestly. Quite honestly, and part of it.
The only reason they are is because Vikingo matches can be seen now.
Well, but I can also see Vikingo in other companies. Like, let's talk about it. Other indies, Warrior Wrestling. Do we want to start talking about them more?
I think so. I think they don't run enough to like like they just ran yesterday. But I obviously didn't see it because we didn't need to.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think I think them and West Coast are the two indies.
I was about to say West Coast Pro. I would love to talk about more.
I like Prestige too.
I was also going to say Prestige.
Those would be the ones indies wise that I think is worth putting into the shuffle. Did we even say Stardom?
No, I was just starting with America.
Oh, gotcha.
PWG, not really. We can't really follow that.
We can't. I would love to,
Yeah,
but we can't.
Defy would be Defy. These are two that I'm thinking about, but I have not really get into them, and because it requires subscription services. Defy and Deadlock Pro.
Yeah, I get it. Deadlock's interesting because I don't think they're live. I think everything's taped too, right?
Yeah,
like Defy.
Yeah, I think so.
They can be one that if like they ever have a big show, but I don't think we can hit that as much.
Which one? Deadlock?
Yeah, and Defy they don't run enough. So
yeah, Defy, and when they do, it's I really like Defy, and I've been hearing great stuff about Deadlock Pro. I'm not at the point. I gotta do another investment of like $10 or whatever, $5 it is just to watch these, and it's like I'm not at the point where I need to watch it that quickly.
I agree.
Which, maybe that's a shame. Moving on, just to see if there's any in the UK and Ireland. This is what the section's in. Rev Pro.
Yeah, we'll keep them in.
Rev Pro. They don't have a lot of big shows, but when they do, they're pretty good. Other big ones, OTT. No, I mean this whole batch. Now, here's the interesting about them is that now if like NXT UK over, they're starting to come back a little bit. Like they just announced Attack Pro Wrestling is coming back.
IPW is the one, right? One PW?
One PW, I believe.
With Ospreay?
Yes.
That might be the one we have to keep an eye on.
So we'll get our eyes on one.
But like, I'm not touching Progress. I'm not touching.
No, I don't want to touch Progress. Progress has been nothing. NXT UK, and ironically now if their deal up, Progress is independent. Who's the other one? WXW, I guess.
Oh yeah, Germany. They're good, but like they don't run enough.
Yeah,
like I would do the
ICW. 16. That's what I'm thinking of. Go ahead.
I would do the Carrot Gold one, but that's probably about it.
That's the only one I really watch. Yeah, it's a shame. It's interesting, what is going to happen with them all, because now that like NXT is kind of over and they're starting to come back and be able to have all these people again, maybe they can rebuild up England a little bit more. But then NXT UK is going to come back at some point, so it's really not a territory worth investing in.
Right.
Other than Rev Pro, I think Rev Pro is phenomenal, and everyone's gotta be watching Rev Pro. I think it's.
I just wish they had better production.
Same.
And commentators
and live show stuff.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get there, but like I know their live experience is usually awful.
This is really a 2 promotion question, but Mexico, AAA, CMLL.
I have no idea. AAA always gives me a headache when I watch them. And CMLL I would watch more, but it's like difficult to.
CMLL and AAA have like a lot of shows, and all we do is talk about them. Is
also Negro Cass is just leaving CMLL.
I saw that
gigantic news story that
I saw that drop last night.
Yeah,
it's ginormous. That's huge.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would. I mean, in terms of AAA, I think my big coverage for them is just like Triple Mania.
I think we can do that. Maybe we just keep it to all their big shows.
Yeah.
Like if CMLL has a big show, we could cover that.
Yeah. Now what about
because the one big show from last year was really good.
That was really good. There was a lot of love getting thrown towards the latest show, I believe it was.
With Rocky
Rocky
Romero and
in the main event. It was not the latest show. It was the CMLL Super Arena show, Mexico City. The main event being Rocky Romero versus Volador Jr. in the NWA World Historic Welterweight Title match. Currently on Cage Match, 8.5 stars. 8.5 rating. So I put it on my list. I'm interested, and I think
I did
it's
too.
not really a
I
big
would
show,
like
but
to put CMLL on here.
I think my goal is to be more, just actively follow CMLL more this year, and whether or not they have big shows, we can talk about it. But I want to be more active in following them.
I agree.
Especially coming out of the pandemic, they got a lot of good guys. That show we talked about last year was fantastic. Like a bunch of wrestlers in there that were great. I just want to talk about more. Japan, New Japan, easy peasy.
Yes, all of it.
Stardom, easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Noah.
They after this past week they get to stay. Congratulations, Noah. You might have been kicked out if we did this 2 weeks ago, but boy howdy did you shut me up.
They're like the Impact thing where it's like we have waves. We have waves.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
super into Noah. Waves we're super out on Noah.
How can I cancel the place that's giving Jack Morris a world title match? How can I do that?
You mean a world title? Full stop.
Yes. Good looking guys, baby.
Dragon Gate.
Dragon Gate. I think we. It's hard to cover them. I think with them, and I don't know if you're interested in this. Maybe we try and start with their big event of the year, which is Kobe World, in the middle of the year. We'll see how that goes.
I put them on the eyes list.
Yeah. When that time comes around, I'll say, hey, let's maybe do this. Because they have their own network. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's the most expensive wrestling network there is. So that's the problem, like where I kind of push back a little bit, but they have interesting things going on. They're kind of getting really cool right now. So it's like, not yet.
Yeah.
But let's keep the eye on them. Let's wait for something big, like their next big show. They have a tag league coming up. And then they'll have their King of Gate, which is their big tournament. And then they'll have Kobe World. So I think Kobe World will hit. See, we'll test the waters with that, see how you feel, see how I feel, and maybe that'll make our decision.
Now, I think we're going to have differing opinions on this, and part of it is because I did not watch the match you gave to me. I haven't gotten to it yet. Alderban.
I'm okay with keeping them off, though. The match I watched today from their tag team main event is amazing.
Okay.
Like it's probably it's my number 2 match of the year.
Ooh, boy.
That's how good it was.
I'm gonna put them on eyes then, because
they can be eyes. All Japan's weird because I don't think we should hit like.
No, they're like a big show thing. I think
they're a big show thing, but they're more so just like a main event thing, like tag. Like I don't watch their whole shows, so that's why
you're watching them for matches specifically.
Yeah, I watch their big matches. I watch anything with like Kento in it, stuff like that. So I think eyes at the most.
Yeah, I was gonna put asterisks as well, depending on how I feel about that match you sent me.
Oh yeah, well you should watch this one too.
Okay, I'll do that.
Since this is new.
And
this is like their big 4, I'd say.
What was that forward?
Match? It was.
Is this your match of the
tag
week?
Titles? Oh yeah. Boy, howdy is it?
Hey, hold on.
It was Kento Miyahara and Takuya Nomura versus Yuma Aoyagi and Naoya Nomura. Tag title on the line.
Ooh,
fantastic stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And they have Kento versus Yuma to kick off next month, which is huge.
Cage match only has 10 votes for it, but a 9.36. So it'll probably go down a little bit. But that's still very high.
When the lowest ratings a 9, you know that's right. Oh yeah, but like I'm not gonna say the person on here, but like you see the first person on the ratings.
$?
Don't say it.
I didn't say it.
Yeah, that person notoriously is like rates everything that's like with a crowd low.
Oh really?
And like if it's like in a place where there's like a ton, like there's no one in the building, but people just hit each other really hard, it'll be like 5 stars.
Interesting. That's annoying.
Yeah, so like I never trust that person, but everything else is like.
Yeah, but everything else is good.
Yeah, I didn't go full 5, but I thought it was tremendous.
The only other I would say is kind of a vague field, but I would say almost number 2 at this point would be Tokyo Joshi Pro and the Joshi world. I feel like that's probably number 2 on Stardom. I don't know. You're not really covering it, but I'm also not really like fully watching things.
That one's hard for people to jump into, truthfully.
If there are matches, I'll watch them. And that might be a similar case of All Japan, where it's like, if there are matches, I'll watch them. But
I think keeping them at a arm's view for us is fine. Okay. Like it's just like like they'll have a big show once in a while, and maybe or maybe not. Like we talked with Sam, how we said we'd have him on to talk their big show. Maybe like maybe we do things like that, but we don't have to do like.
Oh yeah, if any guest wanted to come on and talk about a specific show that was happening, we'll schedule that and totally watch that. Yeah,
we don't have to do like I think the best way to look at it is like if we're covering a promotion, are we going to do their tournaments and their every like show with title matches on it, or like New Japan, like we do New Japan, like we do with Stardom, or is it going to be like only big shows? And I think that anything we put eyeballs emoji will at least get consideration for big shows, but we won't necessarily do everything for them.
Yeah. If that makes sense. There's also a category for Canada. I think this will be very quick.
Whoa! Hey! You skipped GLEAT.
Oh, the GLEAT was on this list.
How dare you?
GLEAT was on this list that I'm looking at. That's why
I want eyeballs on the damn GLEAT.
I'll put them on the eyes list. I've been hearing better things about GLEAT. I just still
better things. They're a great promotion.
They're a GLEAT promotion. Please.
Yeah, that's true. Canada doesn't have promotions. Why don't we? C4. I know we're not doing
C4. Is C4 even on this list? No, I don't think it is.
We can do the Heart Dungeon.
This list is Wikipedia. So it's Border City Wrestling, Elite Canada Championship Wrestling, Great Canadian Wrestling, High Impact Wrestling Championship, International Wrestling Syndicate, Northern Championship Wrestling. I've never heard of any of these.
No.
And the only other
I did.
Go ahead.
I did want to see. Do we want to? I guess this is more of an after show question, so I'll just save it. Never mind.
No, you talk about it.
I was gonna say, do we want to like change how we do sometimes, like each show? Because I think sometimes it's like, or for each company, do we want to decide what companies are worth previewing, what's not? Or like, because some shows like we can't preview
every show.
We can't preview every show. One, because we're not always locked in, but at the same time, it's like it becomes tough. So do we want to
if there's a Royal Rumble the same day as a Prestige show, we're talking about the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Prestige.
So are we gonna we're gonna have specific promotions where they'll get previews and reviews, like Ring of Honor, AEW, New Japan, Stardom, WWE? Like, are those we can hit both, and then everything else is like maybe not, depending on the week type thing?
Yeah.
Impact too.
Yeah, I think it's sort of whatever fits in the 2-hour slot is kind of what we've been working on.
All right, fair enough.
The only other territory here was also Australia. Was there any Australia? I'm like, this is sort of an eyes thing for me. It's in the same vein as like CMLL, and I kind of want to get more into MCW, Melbourne City Wrestling.
Interesting.
I believe they are the home, if I'm not mistaken, of Robbie Eagles. If I'm not mistaken at all about that, I believe it's them. Slex, the business, of course, is in that promotion.
Interesting.
They've had interesting stuff that I've been intrigued about, and it was them and who's the one that New Japan's partnering up with? I don't think it's MCW. PWA Black Label was the other one. PWA Black Label is, I believe, the other side of the country, and they also have they are the ones, I believe, PWA at least, for the Tamashe promotion, I guess, for New Japan. they're the ones partying it. That is like Jack Bonza, Jessica Troy, Mick Moretti, Robbie Eagles is in there. A couple other people. MCW, they have some interesting stuff. They already had Buddy Matthews in for this year. Slex is in there. Adam Brooks wrestles for MCW. Jessica Troy as well. I've been like circling the drain on, man, I kind of want to watch PWA or MCW, but I'm not fully on board yet. So what do you think? I'm not fully on board in terms of them even being on eyes. I think it's more of a personal thing, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think they would need to have like some killer show to get to the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't really broken out really into like American sphere. Whereas
right.
like
if they do, then we're talking. But I think until then it's like personal type stuff.
I honestly don't even know how to watch these.
Nope, there's the problem.
I think that's part of it. Is like, okay, I'm gonna go to the website, Melbourne City Wrestling. Maybe we can all learn something together. Oh, look at this. Here we go. Look at this. The house always wins. This is news from their latest show, apparently. Look at this. Look at this. Would you look at this? Slex and a guy named Tommy Knight are the champions. And they face the Velocities. We all know the Velocities.
They always everyone faces the Velocities.
Everyone in Australia faces them. Oh, are they on MCW? They're on Fight TV.
There you go.
They're on Fight TV. Their upcoming pay-per-view is The House Always Wins. And it is going to be in 20 days, apparently. Let's see.
Are they on Plus?
Yes. Is on a Fight Plus? That I don't know. They're on Fight. It says Fight TV in their thing. Yes, they're on Fight Plus.
All right, so they have a shot someday.
Or their previous stuff is on Fight Plus.
Take it.
Their upcoming show, The House Always Wins. Can I know the card? Because you guys show me the card somewhere, anywhere. No, just the time and the venue. All right. Well, it looks like the main event has Buddy Matthews in it, so that's also interesting. Big match, Buddy.
Oh, that is interesting. Maybe I'll probably give it a look-ski then if Buddy's wrestling in Australia.
I'll put them on the eyes. That's a promotion I've always been like, maybe I should watch them.
Sure.
Get into the Australia scene. I think the Australia scene's in a better spot than England and the UK, just because they got like ransacked. But I still think they're in like a similar vein, like almost how England is now. Just like there's stuff happening there, but like no one's really like talking about it or watching it.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited. I like that we go through this every year. I think with some of these promotions, we could come up with some unique ideas of how to, like, if we watched it during the week, we could kind of include them. Whether it's like, hey, matches to make sure you go out of your way to check out. But we'll have to wait and see. But I'm happy that we have some new things coming in this year. We have some old things going out. NXT, get the fuck out.
I was going to say, let's go through the list real quick and just tell me if this feels right and if.
Give me the locks and then the eyeballs.
Yes, I'll give you it all. The locks, the keep list, AEW, and tell me if we're missing anything or if anything pops out in your head.
Yeah.
AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, main roster WWE, I should say. Ring of Honor, Impact, Warrior Wrestling, West Coast Pro, Prestige, Rev Pro, AAA, CMLL, New Japan, Stardom, Noah.
Sounds right.
Do you want to move any of those to eyes?
No, I think it's all good for now.
Okay. We are dropping NXT, NWA officially, MLW sort of semi-officially, and GCW officially. These have all been a long time coming. We're not
except for the collective.
Yes, except for the collective, which is its own beast.
Kind of. I mean, we'll probably drop half the collective too.
Yeah, that's true. And we'll have eyes on 1PW in England, MCW in Australia, and then Dragon Gate, All Japan, and Glate. If they start getting a little bit hotter, then they'll put them on the board.
Yeah. Yeah, TJPW will be right under those.
Yeah, TJPW is like the in between of like they're just sort of.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the rest are just out, so we don't have to talk about them. All right. Well, we should wrap up the show because it's been forever.
Yeah, it has. But we appreciate everyone for listening in. Again, apologies for the lack of video for our live stream viewers, but presumably we'll be back next week, a live streaming with a guest, talking about a bunch of different stuff. I already gave my match of the week. Scotty, you sort of already gave your match of the week, but so anything else to plug?
No, just follow me at Scotty Wrestling on Twitter. Stardom Road comes out this week. We'll have to record it, but it's coming out this week. We're talking about the best anniversary matches from the anniversary shows since today in Japan. As of right now, this recording is officially Stardom's 12th year anniversary. Also, Mayu Iwatani's, so shout out to the GOAT. And yeah, well, so make sure to check that out. That's coming out Tuesday. We'll make sure to be dropping that one. We're just on time, and lots coming up. I mean, wrestling's very exciting right now. More exciting than a lot of points last year, I think, just globally, because New Japan's on a different level right now. I guess by default, Noah is too. And then, Stardom keeps rocking. It's Royal Rumble week, so WWE has a little life to them. AEW's just kicking ass every week. It's a good time. It's a good time to be doing this show. So, make sure you watch all this wrestling so that you know what we're talking about. Hopefully, we help you watch some things too.
Yeah, that's the whole goal here. Spread the worldwide discussion to people, and we understand. I think that's part of the charm that we bring. It's like we talk about the things that we're keeping and bringing on, and having eyes on. It's like we understand that like we're novices in these promotions, right? I know for a fact there are people that follow Dragon Gate way more than both of us do. There are people that follow all.
Those are the people I listen to.
Yeah, there are probably people that follow MCW. So it's the idea here is not just for us, but maybe for everyone else at home to be like, oh, okay, they're really talking about this promotion. So maybe that's something to be talking about. Follow me on Twitter at RyanKnightsy. Follow the whole show at CountOutPod. I'm going to shout out the Patreon, patreon.com/CountOutPod. Scott and I are in the midst of recording season 2. Ryan hasn't seen anything. We do have the D&D show that comes out every other week, Cantrips and Clotheslines. We got rid of the $10 tier. But what's great about that is because of that, the Cantrips and Clotheslines is available. That was on the $10 tier. Now it's fully available on the $5 tier. So all you got to do, half the price, 50% off. You can go listen to all the old episodes. I think we are of 13 episodes already out for that show. So you can listen to all of those on the $5 tier. And there's a new show, seemingly. I don't know how and what vein it is, but I know there's an episode recorded for it. And it's in the Google Drive right now. That is, and I'm gonna promote it for them on their behalf because it's coming out like probably today or tomorrow. I don't know. As soon as I get the info from them, it's gonna be from the Okada Shorts Boys from New Japan. They have a thing that they titled "Drop Your Shorts." I don't know if that's a series name. I don't know if it's a title name. I haven't listened to it. I just know that it's in my Dropbox. So that's going to be coming on the Patreon, the $5 tier as well. Drop Your Shorts. Don't know what it is. Can't advertise it fully, but I know it's coming. Anyways, thank you everybody for this week of Ring Post Radio. We'll be back next week with an all-new episode. Until next time, see ya. Bye.
So, Curtis.
Yeah, man.
Canart said we've got to do an ad. I've never done one before. What should we do?
I have no idea, bro. I ever made an ad before. What are we doing an ad for?
I don't know. We just say we're like a New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast, and we just put a bunch of clips like here.
Arguably the most shredded guy. So if you really want to get there too.
Maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Heard that here. Michael Richards calling Jay White small compared to him. Here.
I love it. This picture you've painted for me. I want to hang it up. I want to frame it and hang it up in my bedroom.
Yeah.
We don't have a WWE tryout or a New Japan tryout every second week, and now I'm in Bullet Club.
And here?
Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. Do you want to just go off about this match?
How do you critique or talk about one of, I think, probably the best matches you've ever seen. That's an ad, right?
Yeah, that works. That's brilliant, because then all our work's already been done for us and we don't have to do anything.
Aha, past us did it, present us living in the now.
Look at us.
Look
at
at
us being friggin' brilliant.
Mate, minimum effort, maximum output. Okada Shorts podcast. Check it out on the Count Out Network at Okada Shorts. Rate and subscribe, listen or die.
This has been a Count Out Podcast.
Is your tub worn out, but you're not sure who to trust to replace it? Over 2 million people have trusted Bathfitter with their bath remodels. Why? Well, while it's true we craft your bath with high-gloss acrylic and a watertight seal, we fit more than just your bath. We fit your life. It's all about the way we work with your schedule, the incredible design options we offer, and our uncompromising commitment to quality. We install your bath in a day or less with our unique tub-over-tub process, so we fit your schedule. There's no demolition or the mess that comes with it. With hundreds of design options and our Design Your Own Bath tool, we fit your style, helping make sure you get the bath of your dreams the way you want it. And when it comes to quality, we fit your highest standards. We've been remodeling baths for over 35 years, and we offer a lifetime warranty on every tub. That's how confident we are in our quality and durability. It's true. Bathfitter doesn't just fit your bath. We fit your life. Bathfitter. It just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Fact or myth? In the big game, the coin toss usually comes up heads. That is a myth. In fact, tails has come up more often in recent years. Football is full of myths. Like the pigskin isn't actually made of pigskin. Gambling is a share of myths too. Unfortunately, believing gambling myths can cost you a lot of money. So learn what's myth and what's fact at keepitfunohio.com. You'll also find helpful tips, interesting quizzes, and great games, all to help ensure gambling is always fun.